checking my settings to make sure everybody can hear me. Looks like we can. And I'm going to have my wonderful players chime in.
Hello.
Hello.
So we can
Hi
hear
there.
them. I would like you to notice that I have set up captions. We have set up captions. So each of us will be captioned. Keep in mind that these are live captions, which means the internet is translating what I say out loud with vibrations in the air and then translating it into text, which may or may not be particularly accurate. However, I'm of the belief right now that it is better than anything, or better than nothing, rather. If you're joining us live today, I forgot to tell the internet that we were live, so you're gonna hang out with me while I send that tweet.
If you just talk loud enough, maybe they'll hear you.
Hey, I would believe that. I do talk that loud. Okay, I've told the internet that we're live.
Huzzah.
So, internet, the reason I am doing this is because the world is burning and it makes me hideously anxious, and I tend to have panic attacks and actually hurt myself the other day with a panic attack. I don't like it. So, my husband and I came up with a method for me to not do that, which is to think and talk about Dungeons and Dragons a bunch. And so I woke up this morning and I said, "Husband, I have an idea." And he said, "Tell me everything." And we talked about Dungeons and Dragons. So my goal with these one-shots is for them to be easy for me to run, which means I build my maps in Arkenforge because I can reuse them, and I figured out a way to stream them. I do all of my communication with my players via Discord because they can hear my audio and I can hear their audio, and I can take that audio and we can pipe it into the internet and get live captions, and they can see my screen so they can see all the pieces I'm moving around. I also stream this to Twitch because I like to share with the world that this is a thing that you can do. My setup is not the easiest, but I know how to do it now, and I'm happy to share that with you if you'd like to set it up as well. But I am fully of the belief that you can run a Dungeons & Dragons game over a telephone call or even a text channel. So that is also something I'm willing to chat about. What other tech do I use? Oh, I also use DNDbeyond.com for our character sheets. So my very good friend TechSoup was really nice and created all of these pre-generated characters for people. So all they have to do is drop in and look at their sheets. You'll also be able to see that up on the left side of the stream, I think, but I don't know how. So maybe Luth will be really nice and tell us how. I would also love somebody to chat in this, the Twitter chat to see if I can, or Twitch chat, so I can see if it's showing up on the screen. It is great. Love it. Yes, the adventure we're running today, thank you for the reminder. Luth is, the company's name is Animal Adventures, and they've got 3 adventures you can run. One is called Who Let the Dogs Out, and then there's one called Lair of the Necro Meowser, and this one is called Raiders of the Last Bark, but I refer to it as Raiders of the Last Bork because I can. I am running this module straight out of the book as much as I can because, again, that means I don't have to do any prep. It's just straight out of this module, which is another way to make this really easy. But sometimes I just can't help myself and I tweak things. For example, the pre-generated characters for this adventure, we've replaced, I think, one of them for today's game. And the pre-generated characters that TechSoup put together, he did optimize a little bit because he wanted to, and I did not mind, so... And they look good, so. I think that covers all of the technical pieces, but if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I'm going to highlight this on Twitch so you can watch it later. I think, unless anyone has any questions, without further ado, I will introduce our characters. And we'll go from the top left corner around. So I believe that makes... I'm going to try and refer to people by their dog names. I believe that makes Teddy first. Teddy, why don't you introduce yourself, your doggo character, and describe them for me, please.
Hi, I'm Teddy. I'm an older Chihuahua. My parents actually named me Tedrick. They were hoping for a boy, but they got a full litter of girls. So I just go by Teddy. I've been out in the world by myself. It's hard to get along as a small dog, so I've done what I've needed to survive, and I have a little rage problem that I try to keep inside, but Typically, if you see me trembling, you should know to step away.
Awesome. I am hilariously excited by that. We did stream. I did not get their descriptions before the stream started, which is why I'm scribbling as they're describing these, and I am just purely delighted by that. Okay, I think Hartley's up next.
Okay. Hartley is a work animal for, I think, it's like a group of halflings, like a village of halflings. You worked with a bunch of other large animals for farm uses or pulling of stuff. But that wasn't really very exciting to him, and he was a very large and energetic animal. So he wanted to go do things. It turns out that not a lot of the other dogs did, so he ventured out on his own in hopes of finding other like-minded doggos.
Perfect. That is excellent. Next up we have Puddle.
Hello, I am playing Puddle today. I am a herding dog ranger. I love going on adventures and meeting other doggos. I'm not the brightest, but I love a good bone and a good amount of company around a campfire and learning new things from other people.
Perfect. I appreciate your patience with me writing stuff down. I can't help it. I love doing this, and so I'll have a screenshot of my campaign notes for every game, and I am just tickled by that. So thanks for indulging me. And last we've got Cornelius.
So Cornelius is a very good boy. He just happened to be at the right place at the right time. He jumped in front of his human and was hit by a spell, which gave him the proper sentience, and he just so happened to have a special talent for magic.
Perfect. All right. Thank you for that. I don't see any questions in chat, so I think we're going to jump right into this, unless any of you have questions before we get started. All right, here we go. Welcome, adventurous dogs. You are all members of the League of Canine Adventurers, a noble and proud organization that works to aid the two legs in their quest to make the world a better place. You have gathered to review a well-chewed journal given to you by an elderly dog named Indy. It tells of an ancient magical artifact, the Golden Whistle of Calling, which can call forth the mighty Bork of Power. It has been lost for generations, and it is said to give dogs who hear it incredible gifts to help them in their noble missions. Thought lost, it is now your quest to seek the whistle and restore the power of the lost bark, so that dogs everywhere can be empowered to aid their friends and families in this world. You are gathered at an old, abandoned graveyard in the dead of night outside the mausoleum mentioned in the journal. Its stone walls are carved with the growling faces of fierce dogs, and each corner is decorated with a canine gargoyle growling into the night. The door sits slightly ajar, and a strange mist curls out from within. I should probably rewrite that last paragraph, because you guys aren't in a graveyard currently. You're in what I call the quarantine room, because I think it's funny that the Arkenforge creators released a special pack of quarantine materials, which included face masks, toilet packs, toilet paper in various forms, and soap. Oh, and sanitizer bottles. And I found this highly entertaining. So I created a quarantine room for all of you. But I will now move you out into the darkness. Oh, you're not going to do what I want, are you? I'll move you out into the darkness one at a time.
That's even scarier.
I know, it's terrible, but you don't have to look at it. You just have to look at you all disappearing one at a time. Okay, so imagine yourselves in a scary Graveyard. I paused because recently someone explained to me the difference between a graveyard and a cemetery, and I can't quite remember that difference. I just know there is one. So I've been very careful about what I say online. Again, you're gathered in an old abandoned graveyard. It is the dead of night. If you hop into the Twitch channel, you can hear the noises. We're still working on how to make that work. You can see in the Twitch chat, graveyards are attached to churches or chapels. They're largely considered hallowed, and cemeteries are simply plots of land where people are buried in groups. So, somewhere around here, apparently, is a church. Thank you, Tech. So you're standing outside of a mausoleum, which is basically a big, like, stone crypty type thing that has pretty open spaces inside, and generally dead things are known to be buried there. The outside of the stone walls are carved with growling faces, fierce-looking dogs. Each corner is decorated with a canine gargoyle. They are growling into the night. And the door to this mausoleum is sitting slightly ajar, and there are strange mists curling out. What do you guys do?
Let me check this out.
Okay.
I'd like to creep up and sniff at the mist.
Please roll me a perception check. I believe that doggos have advantage on smell checks. So go ahead and roll twice and take the higher roll. And then on your sheet, you will add the perception modifier that you see.
15.
15. Excellent. The mists that are curling out from the mausoleum don't smell dangerous, but they do smell strange, almost intriguing. What you smell beyond the door is stone, pretty dry stone. It's not too damp beyond the door, and a lot of dirt and a peculiar kind of mustiness that you associate with bones.
I think someone put some bones in here. We should definitely check it out. I like bones.
Somebody say bones. I want bones.
All right, so we've got two doggos interested in moving into the mausoleum. How about the other two? Hartley, Cornelius, how are you feeling about joining your friends in the mausoleum?
Very cautiously.
I am a creature of the night. I come in search of justice and stuff.
You're pretty big to be a creature of the night. Just pointed out that it's pretty obvious when you move around. So, maybe just like be quieter.
Okay, so we'll have.
I do not need to be quiet, small one.
What'd you say? What'd you call me? What'd you call me?
It begins.
No offense, small one.
Okay, Teddy.
Narrow my eyes.
Teddy, you're gonna head in first.
Yes, as I head in, I would like to look around for any traps. Bones are pretty good haul, and someone might have tried to protect them. So.
Fair enough. Go ahead and roll me another perception check.
Any chance I can do an investigation?
You'd need to tell me what in particular you are investigating.
So I think what I'd like to do is, because I'm small and I don't weigh very much, I'd like to check the floor to see if the big oaf behind me walks in, if it will set off any traps.
Fair enough. Let me describe the mausoleum that you've walked into before you do that investigation check, and remind me if I somehow forget that you wanted to do that. The inside of the mausoleum, again, has those stone walls that you saw on the outside, but you find an earth floor that is trimmed with stone edging. So there's actually a lip to the earth that you're seeing. The walls are decorated with more canine frescoes, and there's a pictogram on one wall. The walls are dominated by this carving of 3 dogs. Their heads are flung back, and they are howling at the sky. Before them, a 4th dog seems to be appearing from the clouds, and it's carried on waves of energy. The earthen floor in front of you has 3 large mounds of earth, and they're shaped in a rough triangle, which you can see on the map. So you're rolling an investigation check. Are you checking the stone that you're walking on, or are you checking the earth to see if it would depress?
I think I will check the earth before we step down onto it.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
16.
Okay, so the earth is what looks like loose earth that has been packed. It's very similar to a cemetery when they dig a hole, they put something in it, they pile the earth on, and then they tamp it down. The only difference from the tamped down earth that you see is that those three large mounds of earth. They are about the size of maybe 1.5 of you.
Looks safe. I think someone buried something here.
I want to go up and look at the dog carvings on the wall.
Okay, it was not on this map, so I've decided that this is the wall with the dog carvings.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
Well, it's weird that there's 4 dogs and 3 piles of bones. And I want to know what's up with the dog on the clouds. Can I tell anything about, like, are the dogs buried? Are those their bones?
That's an interesting, that's a good question. Let me describe the pictogram a little more, and then we can get to the idea of, or we can get into the issue of the piles. So the pictogram that you're seeing is silhouettes of dogs from their sides, and so there isn't a lot of detail to any of the 4 dogs because of the style here. The most distinctive part of those 3 dogs is that they have thrown their head backs and are howling. The dog that is being carried forth in front of them in waves of energy is also sort of silhouetted, and the wave of energy is sort of I went to school for art history at one point and I cannot remember any of the terms to save my damn life. Simplified, I guess. There's no real detail to this pictogram. So the waves of energy are like squiggles with the silhouette of the dog in the foreground. The idea that the 3 piles might be piles of dog bones would be interesting. I would ask you to investigate one of those piles for me.
Okay. I want to sniff it and maybe dig gently a little bit on top of one of the piles, but I'm skittish. I'm like pulling away, but I'm going to scoop at some of the dirt.
Perfect. Roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Oof. Do I add anything to the number on my dice?
Check your sheet.
Okay.
I will say that since you are smelling first, I'll give you advantage on the roll.
Okay.
But on your sheet, you'll look for a modifier next to the skill investigation.
Investigation. Oh. I have a -1, so that's great because I rolled a 3.
Did you roll twice?
No, but I'll do that.
Yeah, I'm going to have you roll twice. So roll with advantage because you were smelling first and dogs have advantage.
16. So 15.
Much better. I'm actually going to use this investigation check both for your your examination of the pictogram on the wall and for the rounds. So start with the pictogram. As you're looking at it, the dogs with the 3 dogs with their heads thrown back howling looks really important, and that just seems to be the thing that your mind snags on a lot, is that there are 3 dogs howling. When you're looking at the pile of earth, you actually do discover that it is a pile of bones. But you're not seeing just dog bones. You're seeing cow bones and human bones in this little pile. And they all seem to be big bones, not like finger bones or anything, but like thigh bones, and that's the only big bone I can think of. The good bones.
I'd like to run over and grab a cow bone.
Great. So we'll say, Puddle, are you investigating the pile that is closest to you?
Probably.
So,
I'd like to grab the biggest one, so it's like ridiculously outsized for my small body.
Excellent. You are grabbing a giant cow bone, and you're managing to drag it, but one end of it is definitely dragging on the ground.
This is delicious.
Yeah, it's a good bone. Puddle, are you also going to pick up a bone?
No. I jump back and say, hey, I wanted that one.
I grab it first. First come, first serve. There's more smaller bones for you there.
Fine, I'll take 2.
Fair enough.
I take 2, but not the dog bones.
Okay, so you specifically leave the dog bones alone. Great. What are Hartley and Cornelius doing?
Oh, as soon as I figure out that this is piles of bones, I'll probably rush in and haphazardly dig until I find a good one.
Are you going to do this with a different pile or with this pile here, the first pile?
Probably a different one as I need more room, but maybe the one slightly, yeah, that one.
Perfect. So you dig in here. You also find this similar pile of bones, dog, human, and cow. They're, again, all large bones, no finger bones or anything here. You want to grab a bone?
Oh yeah. I'm not greedy. It doesn't need to be the biggest one.
It's one that you can handle, though. Good. So you've got. So each of you has at least one bone. Puddle has 2. Cornelius, what are you doing?
I'm going to very carefully wander over to the farthest pile and very gently kind of poke at it with my paw.
Excellent. You find a similar pile of bones. There are quite a few large bones in here, but this seems to be a lot of the smaller bones. So, again, not like itty bitty bones, but there are a couple of like longer finger bones in here, and some of the medium-ish sized bones that are like this big. I am gesturing in the window.
I'm going to pick up one of the shorter ones, probably something about, between 6 and 12 inches.
Perfect.
Because it may come in handy later.
Fair enough. Okay, so you each have a bone. This is excellent. What do you guys do next?
Does anyone think it's weird that there's 4 dogs in the picture and there's 4 of us here? It's almost like someone foresaw this or something.
Foresaw us? I'm gonna run around the room and prance around the room naked because I have a bone now, and that's cool.
Okay, you
That's
do
a good
this.
bone. Good job, everybody.
Yeah, maybe not like squarish, but like around.
You're just running around.
Just the bone zoomies.
Just happy to have a bone.
Hey, stop. Hey, stop it. Hey.
I drop my bone. Hey.
Look, the bones are delicious, but we got to find this whistle, right? So, we got to do something. I don't know. Maybe this wouldn't I don't like making a lot of noise, but maybe we should try howling. You guys want to start a howl?
Sure, but we can keep the bones, right?
Well, I mean, you can't chew on a bone and howl at the same time, but this is definitely my bone. If you try to get it, I'm gonna hurt you.
Okay, so
I stop chewing and put my bones. I use my nose to tuck them in my like breast pocket of my. I'm assuming I'm wearing like a leatherish vest,
that sounds good
and
to
so
me.
I kind of like tuck my head underneath, like I'm resource guarding, but it goes in my pocket.
Perfect. That sounds.
And I want to look
excellent.
around and. Is there a door somewhere? How do we get out of here?
So you walked in the door on the left.
Yes.
So there is a door there for sure. I would like to remind you that Teddy has put forth the idea of starting a howl.
Oh. You start, Teddy. It's your honor.
Okay. Oh.
We getting anybody joining in here?
Oh yeah. I'm definitely a follower. Go drop my bone, put a paw on it, and ooh.
Okay, so I'm hearing 3 distinct voices there. As the last notes of your howl die away, the mist on the floor starts to be sucked into the center. So as you guys all howl and it bounces around this stone mausoleum, I think Cornelius, you probably join in at some point too, right? There we go. So it bounces around the walls of the mausoleum, and the sound, weirdly, instead of continuing to echo around, seems to like get absorbed into the mist, which almost gives it a shape. And the mist that's been gently swirling around you, and like just like gentle mist, sucks itself into a ball in the middle of the space that you guys are all in, and it forms itself. It begins to emit a faint glow, and then the mist takes on the form of a dog standing proudly. And the dog feels about a head taller than each of you. And they stand there for a moment, looking at each of you. And they say, "You have summoned me, and so have taken the first step upon a noble quest. But are you worthy to blow the golden whistle? We shall see. However, you must first survive." He tucks his head down, and as he finishes speaking, it flicks its tail and the mist swirls aside to reveal the bones that you guys have dug up. And all of a sudden they start moving, as if under invisible control. All of the bones from each of the 3 piles start being sucked into this back top corner. And they assemble themselves into a strange new form. This creature flexes its claws and turns its burning red eye sockets upon you. What you see is a vaguely humanoid shape. There are a couple of skulls that are tucked in here. So there are 3 skulls grouped together at the top of this humanoid shape. A torso, 2 long arms, and 2 long legs. They have way too many joints that don't make sense. They're nonsensical. And the ends of the arms and the legs are sharp and pointed and have claws. The misty creature seems to fade into the background.
Hey, that was my bone. I wasn't done with it. Hey.
Please roll initiative.
Yeah, no fair. Bone stealers.
Okay, so to roll initiative, you're going to roll a d20, and then on your sheet, it should say initiative with a number next to it. Go ahead and call out those numbers when you have a second. Or actually, I'll ask you. Give me 1 second. Okay, Cornelius, what do you got?
Which dice do I roll?
The d20, the one with the 20 sides on it.
It was 15, and you said initiative, right?
Yep.
I think 15.
And what's your dex modifier?
+2.
Okay. And Teddy, what do you got?
15.
What's your dex modifier?
Oh, I had an 11 and then +3.
Right. What's your dex mod? So when
Yeah, I rolled an 11 and my initiative is +3.
yes. Now,
Sorry, 14.
Great. Thank
My
you.
dex mod's 3.
No, hang on. So you rolled an 11. I want you to add your initiative to it, and that equals.
Yeah, my initiative is 14 and my dex mod is a 3.
Got it. Next up I have Hartley. What's yours?
21.
Well, someone's going first. And Puddles, what do you got?
Oh, 24 with a dex +4.
Well, somebody's not going first. The reason I was asking the dex modifiers is sometimes people will roll the same initiative, and it's just an easy way for it's kind of like it's my version of a coin flip of who's gonna go first. So now give me a minute or two or a second or two while I put everybody in the correct order so I can refer to it.
That was my first nat 20, guys.
Oh, you rolled a nat 20?
Congrats!
Nice.
Yay!
Excellent. Okay.
Good start.
So the
Good
way
start.
initiative order works is I'm going to say who goes next. It's all based on the numbers, and you'll be able to attack. On your D&D Beyond sheet, it will have an attack area, and it should list the attacks that you're able to do. They'll be based on the equipment that you have equipped, and I forgot to ask you if you had stuff equipped. But if you don't see any attacks with weapons, let me know, and we'll pause for a minute and make sure that's equipped. But otherwise, we will get started with Puddles. What are we doing?
Okay. So I have a longbow, so I'm gonna pull my longbow. I keep all my equipment under my belly, so I'm gonna grab it with my mouth and kind of pull it out, and put my left paw on the back, on the trigger, and then I'm gonna prop it up with my right paw under the bow portion, so that way I can pull it and aim it at the bone monster.
Mhm.
And then I get one action, or can I say something to it first?
You could say something as a free action.
Okay.
But yeah, you get one action unless you have something that gives you a bonus action.
No. So I'm going to. I want to shout, "Stay back!
Perfect.
Don't come over here.
You can
Don't
also
touch my friends."
Sorry, so you have an action and a move action. So you can
Oh.
move and do a thing. And you can move up to, I think most of you have 30-foot range. And each of the squares on the map you see is about 5 feet. Should have
So
said
if
that. My apologies.
If my range on my longbow is 150 in parentheses 600, I can shoot pretty far, yeah?
Oh yeah, you can definitely shoot him.
Okay.
If
So
you
I'm going to
roll
stay
well.
right where I'm at because I feel like I'm in a pretty good distance right now.
Yeah, you're a good spot. Yeah. If
Okay.
you were right up next to him, just for funsies, if you were right up next to him, you would actually be shooting with a disadvantage. So the weapon you have is a ranged weapon, so you actually need to be more than 5 feet back.
Okay.
You are definitely that. So go ahead and shoot.
Okay.
You're gonna roll
Okay.
a d20.
Okay.
You're gonna add your attack modifier. So each weapon gives you a little number next to it.
It does?
Yep.
Okay. Where is that? The hit DC?
Nope, that's if I were trying to hit you. Let me pull up your sheet. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're
Thanks for your
completely fine.
patience, everybody.
I should have had your sheets pulled up, and I didn't because I'm a silly butt. Let's see here. This is Flint. Flint, you are shooting with a longbow. Actually, you were right. My bad. So yes, your longbow is whatever you roll on a d20 plus 8.
Okay, that's good because I rolled a 1. So, 9.
That's good because I rolled a 1.
And then,
Oh wait, I'm sorry. You rolled a natural 1.
yes.
That means you automatically fail, and it doesn't matter what your DC is. So this is usually where a GM can either be really mean and say like it goes wild and you shoot one of your friends. I don't tend to do that unless somebody is standing like right in front of you, which has happened in one of my campaigns. One of my players did force me to make them shoot somebody in the back of the head. Yes, cough, Luth. But I'm not going to do that.
More than once.
What I'm going to say is yes. What I'm going to say is the arrow just goes straight into the dirt at your foot and actually snaps, so you're not going to be able to reuse that arrow again.
No.
I'm very sorry. Did you want to move at all?
No, I think I'm okay where I'm positioned right now. I feel comfortable with the distance.
Okay, and I don't see any bonus actions on your sheet, so I believe that is the end of your turn.
Dang.
I'm very sorry. Okay, Hartley, you're up next.
I'm going after that bone.
So you are going to run forward.
I am charging and grappling bite.
Do it. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys something. I am very sorry. We're going to pause for just a minute so I can tell you guys a very important thing. Give me 2 seconds. You each decided to pick up a bone from the piles before it became this gargantuan, and it occurs to you, before you start attacking, it occurs to you that there is a more delicious way to bring this bone monster down than using your weapons, and it is to steal the bones back, and that should disable it. I'm sorry I didn't say that earlier, Puddles, but
That's okay.
yes, okay.
I'm kind of a dum-dum, so I probably would have tried shooting it anyway.
I think the shooting was a good character choice for Puddle. I really do.
Yes.
Okay, Hartley, so you're gonna run forward and try and bite it.
If at all possible, I'd like to bite my bone so I can get it.
Your bone was a good size for you, so I'm gonna say that bone is in its right arm.
Okie dokie.
Okay. You are gonna roll me a bite attack.
You just want number.
You should have an attack mechanic. So you roll like I'm still looking at Puddle's character sheet. So if Puddle was trying to bite, it would be a D20 roll plus 5. So whatever your, I'm just gonna bring up all y'all.
18.
Okay, so that does beat the strength DC of this critter. So you leap forward. Tell me if this sounds right. You charge forward. You glomp onto that bone, and you just, with one swift shake, rip it right out. And it was actually a bone near the this part of the arm. So when it pulls out, it actually, something in there just disconnects the whole arm, and it just shatters on the ground. All these bones just fall at your feet. But you've got your one bone safely in your mouth.
I bork in appreciation.
Yeah, well done. As you're doing this, and the arm falls down, the creature in front of you screams in your face, but it's silent. All you hear is this rattling of bones as the 3 mouths of the skulls at the top of the torso just scream silently at you. Next up, we have Cornelius. What do you got?
Sorry, which do I roll?
You can either move, I think, 30 feet. You choose an action on your sheet. An attack action. I'm pulling up your sheet now. So you have a couple of different options for attacking, including the spells you have are Firebolt is a good attack spell. You also have attack spells like Catapult, Charm Person, Magic Missile. You could use Shield, which would
Where
add...
do I see those? Sorry.
Oh, okay. On your sheet, are you looking at this on a PC or a mobile?
PC.
Okay. So there's a bigger box to the right underneath your initiative in your armor class, and it has words at the top of it. For you, it says Action, Spells, Equipment. If you click on Spells, it'll actually list all of the spells you have available to you.
Oh dang, I have spells.
Yeah, some of you have spells. So there are first and second level spells, because you guys are level 3. I will get into why they don't match in a minute. Actually, never. I'll never get into that. You can look it up on the internet. If you're going to cast a spell, you push the cast button, and a little bead will show up in the slots that you have available to you. So you can only cast 4 first level spells, Cornelius, and you can only cast 2 second level spells, so choose wisely. However, the cantrips, you can cast as many as you like.
I think I'm just gonna roll for bite because I mean,
Okay.
it seemed to work for my compatriot there. So let's see if this works.
It worked super well. So you're going to move up to the critter. Are you going for an arm, or the one remaining arm, or one of the legs?
I'm gonna try and hamstring him. Let's try and bring him to the ground.
Done. Great. Go ahead and roll me a d20, and you're going to add, I think for all of you, it's just a +5. Nope, yours is a +4.
19.
Well done. So you grip it right near the hamstring, and there's no flesh here, it's just a bone, but you get a good solid bone with like a knob on the end, and you grip onto that knob and you pull it right out, and it's kind of like unsheathing a sword in a way, right? Like the way it doesn't like clock out, it like shings out, and it's like pulling a linchpin, and from that point all of the other bones start to like just slide out of place on this leg, and you get it in the right leg, and as it's screaming silently at you, it sort of toddles to its knee on the second leg, so it's not prone, but it is definitely not happy. Well done. That brings us to the creature's turn. So it has been, it has lost a leg and an arm at this point. Let me remind myself what that means for it. Okay, the bone thing, the bone guardian is gonna take its first attack. Which die do I want to use? It's gonna take its first attack at Hartley, which got it first, and it rolls a 15. So Hartley, you're gonna look at your AC. Tell me if a 15 is higher than your AC.
It is not.
All right, so it swings right over your head. It seems to be a little off balance. It's going to make another attack at Cornelius. Cornelius is an 11 higher than your AC.
Sorry, 11 higher than my what?
Your AC or armor class. So there's a shield on your character sheet with a number inside of it.
It is not higher.
Excellent. So so the Bone Guardian thrashes with its one arm wildly at Hartley and Cornelius, and it misses twice. It's definitely off balance. Which brings us to Teddy.
Yes. So, I know I'm little, and this thing's real big.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I can take it if I do something smart. So, what I'd like to do is I'd like to run up to it, but I got this really sweet rope, and I'd like to see if I can use my bonus action to use fast hands to slip this rope around its remaining arm.
Okay.
And press this bead. Basically, if the bead is enabled, the end of the rope stays in place like an immovable rod.
Oh, you've got a magic item, right? Let me just pull it up real quick so I can take a look at it, because I forgot what this one does. Oh no! The internet is having a hard time.
First of all, how dare it?
Aren't we all internet? Aren't we all?
Come on, internet. You can do it. I believe in you.
So this
It is Timone's tug rope of tenacity.
It's a 3-foot length of brightly colored, knotted rope. It exhibits the same qualities as an immovable rod. Dang. One end still moves freely and is therefore perfect for solo tug of war. The rope is activated and deactivated by twisting the brightly colored rubber bead set at its center point. So, Teddy, you are going to try and wrap... Oh, I lost my screens. Teddy, you're going to try and wrap this rope around the arm that's still there?
Yeah, so I can tell you my whole plan is to
Yes.
put the end, to twist it so one end stays, and to throw the free end around an arm, and then I'm going to run away and I'm going to taunt this thing, so hopefully it runs towards me and its arm gets pulled off and I can eat it.
That sounds great. Roll me a d20. And add your... You're a rogue, right?
Yeah, is it sleight of hand?
Add your dex modifier for me.
Okay, I got a 20 non-natural.
So we in this stream call that a dirty 20. So it happens exactly as you describe it. You run up, you wrap this rope around it, you get it tied off, you jerk it backwards, and that arm just comes flying off at you. And actually, you get showered with all of the bones from this arm.
I try to catch all of them.
You do not, but because you're too excited. But they all end up around you, and you don't take any damage from it either. So it is now armless. And we are back up to the top of the round.
'Tis but a scratch.
Puddle, what are you doing?
All right. So now that I've discovered my spells, can I cast a spell and then do an action, or is it just a spell?
Your spell is your action, so it's just the spell.
Okay.
Depending, hang on, I've said that. Let's pull up your sheet. You might have a spell that has a bonus action.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I want to do...
It would say BA in the time, so 1A is one action, 1 BA is bonus action.
I see it. How much health does this thing have left? Do we know?
You
Can
don't
we
know.
Okay.
But it's missing a couple arms and
Okay.
one of its legs.
It is no match for us.
That's it. I want to run up and bite right in the middle of its belly and grab the biggest bone I can find.
Great.
I'm coming for it.
You're coming for it. So go ahead and roll me a d20 and add 5 for your bite modifier.
10. 15 total.
Excellent. So you get it right in its belly, and you, we'll say this is one of the bones that you chose at the beginning. And you, what's it look like when you get it out of there? Are you just pulling back with all your feet, like tug, 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 or are you shaking your head around?
I'm gonna do a yank back while I shake my head like my dog does with his toys when he's trying to kill it.
Perfect. So you do that, and as you pull it out, the other leg actually falls off. That seems to have been a linchpin of some kind for the other leg. And the torso just collapses to the ground into a pile of the torso bones with the 3 heads on top, and they're just screaming silently at you. And the entire time this fight has been happening, there's been no sound from the creature except the weird, like, rubbing noise that bones make as they rub against each other, dry bones, and like the click clackety noises that bones will make, like bumping into each other. And so this silent screaming is very eerie as it's happening. But you have defeated the Bone Guardian. Da 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 da. There we go. The Bone Guard. So once the Bone Guardian's been defeated, that misty dog that had appeared earlier, the Guardian Spirit, coalesces again in the middle of the space and says, "You have." He says, "You've survived my guard." He's very snobby, and he says, "Now follow that which cannot be seen." And all of a sudden, on the door that the pictogram, or on the wall that the pictogram is set in, a glowing paw print appears, and it opens a secret chamber. And drifting out of this little, like, hole in the wall that pops open is the scrap of an old blanket. And you guys can immediately detect strong smells impregnating the cloth. And you also know that they would be undetectable to a non-canine nose. So there. You have a new clue.
I pick up my bone.
Okay. So this strange dog has given you a clue. It's a well-chewed piece of blanket, which hides a secret. Your keen nose detects several strong scents emanating from its threadbare fibers. You can smell 3 things: coal and iron, which reminds you of the blacksmith; meat and salt, which reminds you of the butchers; and cinnamon and flour, which reminds you of the bakers. Each of these scents hang in the air, as detectable to your nose as a cloud of colored smoke would be to an elf or dwarf. There are a bunch of places in the city that would have these smells, but only the trade square would have them all in the same place. What do you guys do next?
I want to go grab the piece of blanket in my mouth.
Okay. You pick it up. It doesn't taste great. It's definitely a moldy old blanket, but the smells are stronger when it's in your mouth.
I'm gonna prance around like it tastes awesome and be like, I got blanket. I got it. I got blanket.
Oh, man.
I start playfully chasing her, but it's obviously just a game.
I like
What
run
did you-
around frantically.
I mean, if we're playing chase, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so you guys start a quick game of chase, and we'll call this a short rest. I don't think any of you took any damage, but if you had taken damage, a short rest would allow you to roll one of your hit die, I think. Tech will correct me if I'm wrong, if he's still in the stream. Which would allow you to recover a couple of hit points. You guys feel refreshed? And,
Good game of
As
chase.
we're being chased, I will run out of the mausoleum and towards the town.
Okay. Let's see. I think I messed up my map, so I can't grab groups. Yeah, without moving the whole map. Shoot. I'll have to fix that. So I actually don't have a map for the town, so I'm just gonna have to theater remind this nonsense for you guys. I need you to make some.
Wait, so at this point we're chasing her out of the mausoleum, or where are we?
You're chasing her out of the mausoleum. You have chased her out of the mausoleum. Oh, I just realized what you're looking at. Sorry. Boop. Give me 1 second, because I forgot that this bit is confusing, and I meant to go look at it after the last stream, and I forgot. So give me 1 second.
Can I just say how appropriate it is that my dog just tried to eat my D8?
Yes, I do super enjoy them. All right. So I'm going to need some perception checks from whoever wants to figure out where they're going.
Hartley is very busy paying attention to the chase the blanket.
So no perception check from Hartley.
I rolled a 10.
You get advantage on perception checks because you are a doggo following a smell. So you can roll again.
The second roll was also a 10.
Is that a 10 plus your perception modifier?
Yeah, my perception's a 0.
What?
Yeah, it's not good.
That's weird.
I'm not very wise, but I am very quick and suddenly southern.
And suddenly southern, yeah, love it. Okay, so I think you're a little overwhelmed by the smells because they're right up in your mouth. And you're not quite sure where you need to head next. Anybody else?
I'll roll 2.
Okay.
16, including my perception.
Cornelius, it looks like your web captions have disappeared.
I'm trying to figure that out. I've been poking around at it.
Okay. Hey, Luth, would you mind starting up a Discord text stream with Cornelius and trying to get those back up again, please? So, with a 16, you know exactly where you're supposed to go, and so at this point, you're kind of herding Teddy towards the main square. And you arrive at...
Can't catch. Ha.
You arrive at the main trade square. It's really quiet this time of night. The only sound you hear is the breeze and the scurrying of rats picking over the day's leavings. At the center of the square is the statue of Gourmand. He's a hero to the humans in these parts, but the hero to you is his wolfhound companion, Sabat. I'm going to need some investigation checks from you guys, and I will allow you to work in pairs in order to aid one another.
Can someone lift me up? I just don't want to go through the trouble of climbing. I could totally climb it, but I want to get higher up and closer.
I'll
can help you.
lie down in front.
Oh, he's got it.
Okay, so I wasn't looking up at the closed captions. Who's looking at the statue?
I am. I'm climbing up on top of Hartley.
Perfect.
To take
So
a look at the wolfhound.
I'll give you an advantage on that. Roll me an investigation check. Roll twice. Take the higher number.
Oh man, it was an 8.
Plus 4?
Yeah, I rolled 2 4s.
That's terrible.
Oh boy.
Your foot.
I got all my good rolls out early.
Your feet keep slipping on Hartley's back, so you can't quite see anything
Stop
useful.
moving. Stop it.
I
God.
keep asking questions, so it's making it
No,
harder
don't
to
lift your
focus.
head. Stop.
I'm gonna back them up. I'm gonna try and help not fall off.
Okay, so Cornelius is going to steady you, Teddy, so go ahead and roll again.
This probably looks ridiculous.
Oh, it super does. There's a fairly large dog with an itty bitty chihuahua standing on top of it, and a retriever trying to like steady the chihuahua as the large dog underneath the chihuahua is like moving around and like trying to help, and tail is wagging. So yeah, it looks ridiculous.
Yeah, I imagine I'm like Van Damming between like Cornelius's nose and
Oh.
Hartley's ears.
Perfect. Yes, that's even better. Like you like reach out a foot to try and step on Cornelius's head, which is steadier than Hartley's. Yeah, it's great.
I got a 15 this time.
Thank God. Your investigation reveals a scent. It reveals a hidden button on the collar of Sabat.
I will touch it with my nose.
You touch it with your nose, and Sabat's mouth opens, and there's a golden whistle inside.
Guys, look, guys, it's a whistle.
The button clicks in, and the jaws of Sabat open wide, revealing a glinting metal object within. There, shimmering in the moonlight, is the fabled golden whistle, long thought lost. As you reverently reach for it, there is a sudden sound of scurrying, beginning quietly, but quickly reaching a crescendo. Before you can act, rats swarm from every direction, chittering triumphantly. This tide of vermin sweeps over you, biting and scratching, and it's gone into the sewers as quickly as it appeared. And you realize, with horror, that the whistle is gone.
I'm barking furiously after them, sticking my head down the sewer.
Da-da-da! Okay.
Spinning in place with frustration.
Okay. So you guys are gonna head into the sewer?
I just stuck my head down the hole and yelled like a rah, 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 rah. Don't take that.
So you stuck your head into the sewer?
We'll definitely slip down into the sewer.
I probably fell in.
Teddy
No,
is
well,
joined.
I'm very dexterous. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe I jumped down.
Hartley, sorry, I put.
Am I gonna
Puddles
fit
in the
down
place
there?
of Cornelius. Yeah, you'll be fine. There's like a little door.
All right, away we go. After those vermin, like literally.
Literally after them. Get you all in here.
And I'm crawling through there, trying not to get my delightful hat and cape dirty.
The dark, dank sewers swim with evil-smelling liquid and bubbling nastiness. As you enter its depths, the stone floor and walls are slimy, and the air is thick and heavy, and your ears can make out the sounds of rat swarm as it scurries away into the tunnels. So you're going to be following these the rats into the sewers. I'm going to need 3 perception or investigation checks to track the rats. 3 successful.
I'll roll.
All right, I'm on the case this time.
Yes. I will also check.
I am just barking furiously at the rats.
Who do you want to roll? What do you want to know?
1 second. I'm getting advice from a friend. So just to be, I want to back up for a second. Puddle, when you asked earlier about your spells, and I was talking about actions and bonus actions,
Mm-hmm.
just to be clear, if you have a spell that is a bonus action,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, every time you have a turn, you have a move action, an action, and a bonus action. Some of you don't
Okay.
have bonus actions, like that you don't have spells, or you don't have like attacks that count as bonus actions, but Puddle does. So in that case, you could have moved, actioned, and then bonus actioned. But you don't have to do
Okay.
it in that order. You can start with a bonus action and then move and then do an action, or do an action, move, and then do a bonus action. You could do them in any order that you want. Whatever makes sense for the
Combos.
story. Yeah.
Okay.
So keep that in mind as we move forward, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you. So what I need from you guys is to roll some perception or investigation checks. I would love it if you flavored it by telling me what you were doing. Again, the environment you're in is super gross. The sewers that you're running through are twisty and dark and weird and confusing. And so that's why I'm going to need successful checks from you guys as you move forward.
Well, since I jumped down there first, I'll go first, and I roll around in the slime, as gross as it is, because I know,
Ugh,
as being a
gross.
ranger,
No.
they won't smell me coming if I smell like the sewer. And then I roll, yeah?
Yeah.
Roll my dice.
Roll me a
Get inside the head
perception
of
or
your
investigation,
prey.
whichever's higher for
That's
you.
it. Perception or investigation, you said?
Yeah, whichever's higher.
Whichever's higher.
Yeah.
Well, definitely my perception's higher. I got a 17, and so I'll add 5 to that. 22.
Dang, that is a successful check. So you guys move a little
Woo!
deeper into the sewers, and you're on the right track. Can I get another one from someone that isn't Puddles? Puddles. I said Puddles, auto caps.
It can be plural. We can. That's okay.
Oh, I did say it plural. Sorry. It was typing pedal, and I was like, puddle. I can't
Now it's
handle
putty.
it. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, another perception or investigation from someone?
Is this in with advantage or without?
It depends on whether or not you're using smell.
I got a dirty 20.
Excellent. Cornelius gets our second successful check. So you move deeper into the sewer tunnels. You know you're on the right track.
All right, I'm gonna try. Not good at it. I'm gonna try because Hartley wants to find people to fight.
Okay.
Am I using smell? I'd like to.
You can. Tell me what you're doing.
Trying to. I'm trying to smell after the rats, but I don't know if that's helpful.
It is helpful. You're in a really smelly environment, and what you're trying to do is pick out that one thread of not beautiful, but to you beautiful because you want to eat the rats. Rat thread smell. So you're gonna roll it with advantage for me. This is a perception check.
Nope, I am not very good. It's only an 8.
Aw, you rolled twice.
I did. The other one was worse.
Oh no.
Okay. So we have our first failed check. Okay. So we've got one from, I think Teddy, you're the only one that hasn't checked yet. You want to roll us a investigation check?
While Hartley has his head down, smelling real deep,
Mhm.
I'm gonna leap up on his back and stand forward and point my leg forward, looking out over his head,
Mhm.
and see if I can see any movement in the front.
Cute.
Excellent. Roll me an investigation check.
That is an 8 after adding my mod.
I'll say that you have advantage on it because, after all, Hartley is helping you by giving you a boost.
Much better. That's an 18.
Excellent. So we have our third and last needed successful check.
I have a question. Since I'm a herding dog, and he's smelling, but he didn't have very much success with his smelling, can I herd him with us?
Yes, he can follow you guys. Yeah, that's not too hard.
Okay, good.
But good
Oh,
question.
Hartley's a follower, definitely.
Didn't want anybody to fall behind.
I appreciate that. I should have made clear that the 3 successful checks aren't for you guys as individuals, but you guys as a group. Whoever made the successful check is the one leading the pack at that point. So Teddy is the one that's in the lead at this point. You eventually reach a section where the sewer floor has collapsed into an older under sewer below. Their strange markings have been carved into the wall, and the rats hiss and snap at you as you draw close, and then they start to attack in a tide of tooth and claw. So they're going to be... What did I do? Give it. Can you see that? Can you see a rat?
Is it on the
See
brown?
a rat,
Yeah.
and maybe one on the edge of vision.
There you go.
Oh, there's 2.
Okay. So I need you guys to roll an initiative for me. Because we're dropping into fight number 2.
Dun dun dun.
So... Lost Discord. There it is. Cornelius, what do you got?
Sorry, initiative. I rolled a 16
Plus 2, I think, right?
plus 2, yeah. So 18.
And... Teddy, what do you got?
A nat 20 for a 23.
Really wish Nat 20s did something
Damn.
to initiative, but it's also good that 1s don't. So, yeah, that's really good, though. Hartley, what do you got?
Not so good this time. An 8. Too distracted.
You're just so excited. And Puddle, what do you got?
Oh, I got a chip on my number, but I'm fairly certain based on the reflection, it's a 15 plus 4, so 19. I'll look to make sure it's not 13.
Your dies? Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, it's a 15.
We'll call it a.
There was just, you can see it. You know how sometimes level up dice, like,
Mhm.
the bit is just a little off, but I can see where before the ionization it was. So it's a 15. So 19.
19 total. All right, let me put this in my initiative tracker real quick. You guys rolled really well.
Most of us.
Yeah, the majority rolled well. We'll just pretend that you're just super excited about life.
Still smelling in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
All of the sniffs.
You started this fight faced in the wrong direction. So before we get started on this fight, we've been as a group on for about 2 hours. I usually call a break at that point. I know we've only been streaming for a little over an hour. So do you want to take a break now or after this fight, like in real life?
I'd be fine with after this fight.
Okay. All right, so let's do this. Okay, so the first person up is gonna be Teddy. You've got 2 rat swarms in front of you, just to immerse you in this. They are medium dog sized, but it's an undulating mass of regular sized rats.
Ugh,
And
a Mac.
yeah, it's super gross.
It's a rat king.
It's a rat king. Yeah, it's a swarm of rats, and they're hissing and clawing at you, and they're like undulating around and back and forth. It's super gross. What do you do?
I'm actually gonna hold my action to wait until some of my friends get up here.
So I put you on this map wherever I wanted to put you on the map, and I used you to eliminate. Actually, before we get started, how do you guys want to be positioned?
I think I can rightly state that Hartley would be near the front as he is overeager and stuff.
Okay, so I'll put you there. Right in the middle. Great.
I'll probably hang in the back of the pack.
Okay. Cornelius?
Cornelius is going to hang towards the back as well.
Okay, and Teddy? Middle, back, front?
Yeah, I think I'm right next to Hartley because I was on top of him.
Got it. All right. So, you still gonna hold your action, or?
Yeah, I'm hoping to do a sneak attack, so I'm gonna let someone go first. I'm not a coward. I'm smart. All right. I'm not scared of anything. I can attack anything.
That sounds right to me. Okay, so that puts Puddle up next.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna load up my longbow again because these things are grossing me out just a little bit. Even though I'm covered in slime, I want to be sneaky, and I'm gonna pull out my longbow again and angle it, but I want to be sure I don't shoot at anybody. So I'm gonna get over to the right side a little bit. Yep, out of it. Yeah, and shoot probably the closest one. No. I'm gonna go for the back group of rats, right?
You're
There's
gonna go
2 groups of rats. Yes, that one.
Here. Okay.
And then I am going to do a spell as my bonus action called Hail of Thorns.
Great.
Tell
me what that does.
Do I need to roll anything for that?
I don't remember. Let me look at you.
It says Dex 13, so I'm gonna guess.
Who are you again? Puddle. Spills. That's a DC, so I have to roll to avoid it.
As the baddie?
I rolled a 2, so I don't avoid it, which means...
Cool. Successfully attached.
Creates a rain of thorns that sprouts from your ranged weapon or ammunition. So...
This is hoping that
use this.
my arrow will hit purchase.
I think you will use this after you shoot.
Okay. So I'm going to try and shoot my longbow at that far group of rats.
Let's do that, yeah. So D20
I'm gonna
plus...
get Okay. D20?
D20 plus 8.
12, so it's a 20.
Okay, so dirty 20 definitely hits. So let's resolve this in order of roll me the damage, the piercing damage on the arrow first, and then we'll add the hail of thorns on it as well.
All right. Time
So-
for my D8.
That's your D8.
3 plus 4, so 7.
3 plus, so 7 damage.
Plus the Hail of
plus
Thorns.
Hail of Floors, which is an additional D10 of piercing damage. So roll me a D10.
Ooh, okay. That's a D12. That's the funny shaped one, yeah?
It's there are 2 D10s. One's a percentile dice, but it also has 10 sides. I don't know what you mean by funny shaped one. They all
Yeah,
look
I found
funny
it.
to me.
Okay. They are all funny. So it's a 3.
Okay, so that's 10 damage. I'm going to steal a description from a friend of mine. Let's say that you, as you're drawing the bow up near your mouth, you're whispering to the arrow, and these thorns sprout along it. And as you release, the arrow flies through the air, and as it's about to land in its target, it explodes, and just thorns shower into it. How's that sound?
Badass. I love it.
Great. So you do 10 piercing damage. The rats in this swarm squeal hideously, and a bunch of them fall to the ground. And so it's about half the size it was before, but it is still up and moving, and it looks just furious. Well done. Did you want to move it again at all?
Can I?
Yeah.
I'll move back behind the pack.
You move back here. Okay. So that was 5, 10. Yeah, you can about do that. Next up we have Cornelius. What do we got, Cornelius?
I'm rolling a d20.
To do what?
Oh, sorry, I've been trying to fix my captions.
That's okay. Not the end of the world. I appreciate the effort.
I figure maybe I should set everything on fire.
That doesn't sound terrible. How are we going to do that? With Firebolt?
Yeah, I'll roll for firebolt.
Okay, so you're going to roll a d20, and you're going to add 5. Oh, what are you aiming at?
Oh, I'm gonna aim at the middle of the Rat King.
So the rat swarm on top or the rat swarm on bottom?
Let's start with on top.
And let's say maybe you move about 5 feet up so that you have a clear line of sight, just for fun.
Great.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a d20, add 5.
We got a 13.
So what does your firebolt look like? Does it have a color or?
Let's make it purple for funsies.
Great, so it's a purple. Does it look like a lightning bolt or like a stream of fire?
I'm thinking more of a bolt. So yeah, probably more like kind of like a comet.
Comet, perfect. So purple comet streaks forward. It's a ball about the size of your head and crashes into this swarm of rats, and it does 1d10 of damage. So go ahead and roll a d10 for me.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out which one's the D10.
Oh, that's okay. So for all the games that I play, whenever I'm playing, I lay my dice out in order. So D20, D12, D2, the percentile, the D10, the 8, the 6, and the 4. So that when I'm...
Did you say percentile?
Yes. There are 2 D10s in your D20 set of 7 die, and one of the D10s is called a percentile die. So it'll have 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, all the way up to 9, 0, and that's called.
Oh, I have that one. I see that one. Is that the one I'm supposed to roll?
You can roll that one. So what that is when you need to roll a percent of some kind. You can roll both, and so if I roll mine, I rolled a 90 on one and a 1 on the other. So this total would be 91.
Gotcha. Okay. I figured out which one's the D10. So
Yeah, you're just gonna roll one of them though. That was just for instance.
That's very smart. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got a 9.
I love my dice. Okay, 9. That's out of a D10. That's really good. I'm just looking at your sheet and seeing if we add anything to that. No, that's good. Okay, so that's 9 damage. The comet actually pokes through, like it blasts through the swarm of rats, and it like punts a bunch of now flaming purple rats out of the back. But the hole closes up around it. So this swarm is again about half the size of what it was before, and it is still moving and super pissed.
I would like to run up to the swarm of rats. I think I want it to be smart, but I'm worried about Hartley getting hurt. Don't tell him.
Okay. Actually, I think I really should look up the rogue rules if we're going to use a rogue in this. I think this still counts as a sneak attack, and Tech will hopefully jump into the chat and tell me if I'm wrong. So go ahead and roll. What are you trying to hit it with?
I'm gonna pull my rapier. It's like on my back, and I reach back with my mouth and I pull it out, and I'm swinging at the rats.
Great. Do that. So D20 with a +5.
That is an 18.
Yeah, that hits. So you're going to roll damage for me. So it's a D8 +3. And
that is 8 for the regular damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then 11 on the sneak attack for the 2d6.
So an additional 11 damage?
Correct.
Dang. So you slash through this. Do you want it to be like a one slash or like a fancy like slash?
Yeah, I think if I get that sneak attack, if I can just keep going like scissoring, yeah.
So you're scissoring through this swarm of rats, and you're slicing through these rats. Your rapier is like super sharp, and it just this pile collapses at your feet with all these little bits of rats at your feet. You have killed the first swarm. I love that you do that. Okay. So this swarm is dead. Long live the swarms.
My husband is asking why I'm working.
Because you killed the swarm. Can he not hear the stream anymore?
Oh, he's not listening to it. I've got headphones.
Oh, I see. Well, you very excitedly killed a swarm. So the second swarm is actually going to run up and take a swing at, or a bite at Hartley. Does a 12 hit your AC, Hartley?
Nope.
Didn't think so. So what this looks like is the swarm is going to like skitter forward, and then as it gets close to you, it's going to try and engulf you, but you dodge out of the way. And it rears back and like hisses at you. And then next up we have, next up is your turn. What are you going to do?
Okay, so I'm going to reach back and grab my greatsword in my big old jaws. And I imagine this is going to be a lot of like kind of jump spinning around and swinging my head back and forth, that sort of thing. So I'll be slashing a sword about the size of me around.
Yeah, that sounds right. Dogs have very strong necks. Have you ever seen those dogs like pick up huge branches and run with them? Like, this is why this way of playing Dungeons and Dragons makes total sense to me. Like, I can absolutely see a big dog with a long sword in its mouth slashing at things. Like, that makes total real world sense to me.
Yeah, it might drag on the floor if I'm just carrying it, but when I'm swinging it around.
Yeah, it tracks.
And I got a total of, I think it was a 23.
To hit? That hits, for sure. Yeah, dang, roll me damage. I don't have your sheet up because you've played before, so.
That's, with modifiers, that's a 12.
12 damage?
It's 2d6. I rolled a 9.
Shit.
Plus 3.
Shit. Okay, so You swoosh this longsword through, and it basically collapses this swarm, and it like forms again, but it is not undulating very well. And it is whimpering more than it is hissing. It is still standing, but it's not looking good. That brings us back to Teddy.
I again will slash at it with my rapier, trying to do the same cool action so all the other dogs think I'm really cool.
I'm imagining this little bitty chihuahua with a rapier in its mouth, basically doing the equivalent of like a human being, like,
I'm like worrying it, yeah.
yeah,
Like,
it's great.
like I'm playing tug of war.
Yes, so good. Yeah, roll for me. Roll a d20.
It very much did it. I got a 24 non-natural.
Woo!
Yes, dirty 20. Great. Roll me or 24 rather. Roll me damage for that.
So that's
Chihuahua
10
whirling
damage.
dervish.
Do I get a sneak attack since Hartley is right there?
I don't think you get a sneak attack, but you definitely have pack advantage of some kind. I have got to look up these damn rules if I'm gonna do this. Yes, sneak attack. Yes, you get sneak attack. Luth just played this rogue, so he knows the rules. Yes, I'm getting yeses from everybody. Great, yes.
Okay, so
First
10
attack
from
each
my
turn.
base attack,
And
and then another 6. So 16.
So 16, yeah. It's unnecessary. You actually swing the rapier back and forth through empty space because your first swoosh, but like the damage happens. It's just already
I'm so excited though. I just keep going.
Yeah, that's excellent. You have defeated the second swarm.
Multi-rat kebab.
Multi-rat kebab, indeed. Well done.
Woo!
Ooh.
Arr!
Okay, so you all stand there, waiting for your GM to get
We are
to
the best.
You are the best. So you all stand there, breathing heavily. Puddle, your Hail
Yeah.
of Thorns effect, because you can use that for up to a minute on every arrow you fire,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a concentration spell. Just
Yes.
so you know. Okay, so you're all standing there breathing deeply. You've worked as a group. You've successfully defeated 2 swarms. What do you guys want to do next?
Hey, Cornelius,
Arr!
that purple light was pretty cool. It was really shiny.
It was super shiny.
It's just something I've been working on.
Well, good.
You
You
did
did
great.
good job.
Thanks.
Good doggos.
Good doggos. So the this broken part of the sewer that the rats were attacking from is a pretty shallow drop, but it's all rubble beyond. The rest of the sewers that you're going to track through are all rubble, so you have to sort of pick your way along.
Hold on, can I sniff and see if any of the Rat King corpses have a whistle in it?
Yes, go ahead and roll me a perception check with advantage.
Okay. It's a 12 plus 5, so 17.
You can tell that the rat swarm that was originally furthest back, so the one that was killed second, had the golden whistle at one point, but does not anymore.
Okay. Those nasty rats got away.
So you track your way to the rat's lair. Ahead, you see the tunnel open into a larger circular chamber. Hold, please. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change the sounds. Hold, please.
There's sounds?
Yeah, they're in the Twitch channel. I haven't figured out how to put them in Discord yet, but yes, there have been oohs, and now there are sewer sounds.
Yuck.
So
Drip,
drips.
drip.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. Ahead, you see the tunnel open into a larger circular chamber that drops away in stepped tiers. I'm gonna put one of you in it just so the map can see it. And I need to make this box bigger because this map's a wee bit bigger.
It's a big room.
Where was I? A circular chamber that drops away in stepped tiers. The sounds of chittering and chanting can be heard coming from the entrance, and a sickly green luminous glow comes from within. The smell of rats and water and corruption is very strong. The chamber is filled with rats. A large pool of green water lies at the center, with 3 water channels feeding gross liquid into it. I forgot to look up fetid, but fetid, gross liquid is being fed into this chamber. There's a very large rat, white rat, across the way from you. He's holding the whistle as the party enters, and he turns it in his claws greedily, and he's rubbing it against his face, and as soon as he's aware of you, he cries out, "Attack my children! They must not get the shiny!" Please roll initiative.
Come, fellows, destiny awaits.
Dirty 20.
We'll take a
Nat?
break right after we get all the initiatives. We'll take a break. Who rolled a dirty 20? Was that Cornelius?
Cornelius.
So 20 total. I heard a net
And then what is
20.
this initiative?
Yeah, this is initiative.
Hartley rolled a 17.
Puddle, what did you roll?
Nat 20 plus 4. So
And
24.
Teddy, how about you?
Teddy is just trembling in rage at this rat because I rolled a nat 1 for a total of 4.
Yikes.
Ooh.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and take a 10-minute break. So this is gonna be a bio break. I don't care what you guys do on this, but it's gonna be a bio break for me. And so what I'm gonna do is on stream, I'm gonna throw up a be right back screen. I will mute my microphone while I'm taking care of business, but I'll be back on for the players to ask any questions before we get started. So please be back here at the latest by 2:24, so we can kick in. Sound good?
Cool.
Great.
Bye, stream. We'll be back for
Yep.
a bit. believe we are live again. Yes, we are. Just have what I refer to as the minions chime in, Doggos. Make sure that mic is live.
Hello.
Great.
Woof, woof, woof.
Perfect.
Woof, woof,
Bork.
woof.
I notice our web captions are not. Yes, they are. Okay. Sorry. I just get
Bork.
really nervous when there's nothing there. Okay, so I think we're ready to get going. We started a fight right before we took a break, and we're going to continue that fight. So before we start walking through... Oh, I forgot to arrange my initiative on our break. My bad. Give me 1 second while I arrange initiative. I want the tiny box.
I actually had to check the box for my dice to make sure that I actually had all of them, because I really do not trust Marble at all.
Has he been eating your dice, or she?
He tried to eat my dice when he was sitting in my lap, and now he is no longer allowed. Now, to sit in my lap, that is. And Goldie just likes to jump up on the chair at the table when I am not here, so I don't trust either of them.
That's fair. Sounds like you really shouldn't.
I love my dogs, I love my dogs.
Cornelius, what's your dex modifier?
1 sec. +2.
Okay, just putting everybody in initiative. And making mistakes. Like you do. Because Puddle has a 24. So they'll go before everybody.
Woo woo.
Oh, Teddy, what's your dex modifier?
3.
That's right, because you are dexterous AF, as they say.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
flipping around.
Flippity flip 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 flip.
That checks out.
Alright, I think I got it. Okay, here we go. Puddle.
Yeah.
Well, actually, all of you.
Yeah.
Just to remind you, you're in a room full of rats. There appear to be, the rats appear to have formed into 6 different swarms.
Oh my.
There's a big white rat as well, across the way from you, and he's got the golden whistle. We'll call him the rat leader at this point. Hi, Gamer Doc. How you doing? Who is playing the characters? Gamer Doc. We have, I think the only person you know is Pterodactyl. They're playing Puddle. And then we've got an old friend of mine and his lovely wife, and then a newer friend of mine. So we've got Puddle, which is a ranger, and we've got Teddy, who's a rogue, and we've got Cornelius, who's a wizard, and we've got Hartley, who's a fighter. So it will become a little more clear. Let me know if you have any questions as we move forward. Which way did you guys want to enter this room? Who wanted to go first? I remember
I'll go
Hartley
first.
being in first the last time. And I remember Teddy being up there with him. And Cornelius and Puddle wanting to be near the back. Does this look about right in the... Yes.
Sniffing butts.
Does the
That's right.
screen look about right? I know it's pretty big. Let me see if I
Yes.
can zoom in a little bit. Stop. I don't
okay.
want, I want this. Oh my god. Buttons.
Computers.
Why? Why computers? Why?
Why?
Okay, here we go. So Puddle, you're up first. What are we doing?
Okay.
Can you see all the rats?
I can. Well, I can see a lot of them. I can see enough of them because I want to attack ones that are closer to us to prevent anyone from getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to see. So Slayer's Prey, if we're doing a real life noob question for a moment, and if I look at my bonus actions, it says Slayer's Prey. As a bonus action, you designate one creature you can see within 60 feet And the first time each turn that you hit that target with a weapon attack, it takes an extra 1d6 damage.
Sounds pretty straightforward.
Okay, so anybody
is
I attack
this?
takes extra damage, yeah?
That sounds right. Where? Oh, here it is. Well, it's not anybody you attack. It's one creature you see within 60 feet. The first time each turn that you hit that target, it takes an extra 1d6 damage.
Oh,
So it's
also, my reaction skill is awesome. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do.
one critter, and the first time you attack it each round, it takes one extra d6 of damage.
So can we count a critter as a swarm?
Yes. Yes, please.
And I am gonna need a revive eventually, because Puddle's gonna be reckless, like myself.
You're gonna be fine.
I've been good so far.
you
I'm still covered in slime.
You didn't load in with a cleric, which I probably should have forbid, but it's gonna be fine.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I am going to do... I want to do... Hail of Thorns again.
Mhm.
Do I roll anything for that, or you roll for that? You
I
roll
roll
for
for that, but let's see if you hit first.
that? Okay, I'm gonna use my longbow on... I'm gonna go on the rats to the left of the group.
So I'm pinging these guys.
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, well, no. No, I should go farther away, huh? With my bow.
You can.
Maybe since I'm covered in slime, I'm gonna hop down below. Yes. I'm gonna just scooch right into that pond. I don't care about the slime. I'm a ranger. I don't mind being stanky. Dogs like good stank.
It's
And
true.
I'm gonna aim in at that group of rats that we designated
Oh,
for an
this
attack.
this group of rats.
Yes.
Do it up.
Okay. I do a d20 or I do a d20 for
You're
success
shooting
or
a
what?
longbow. Yeah, you do a d20, and then you add
Ooh.
8.
Okay. 18 plus 8.
This is where I make you do your own math because I'm
So
tired.
26.
So 26 definitely hits like a bunch. Go ahead and roll
Super
me,
bunch.
and you're gonna use Hail of Thorns,
Yep.
which it does not avoid. So you're gonna roll. Let's resolve the longbow damage first. That's 1d8 plus 4,
Okay. And that is a 6 total.
and then we'll do the Hail of Thorns. So again, your
A
your
d10.
arrow splinters out. So that's a d10.
Okay. That's... Okay, so if it's a 0, is that a 10 or a 0?
A 10.
A 10 then. Plus whatever the thing plus.
And then if you want to do... Did you want to do the... Oh, that's a bonus action, isn't it?
That is a bonus action. I get a bonus action
Well-
on top of those or no?
So Slayer's Prey is also a bonus action, and you can only
Oh, okay,
do
then
one
okay.
bonus action. So we're either going to do the Hail of Thorns, which was a d10, and you got 10 on, which is great. Or Slayer's Prey, which is a d6.
I'm gonna do the 10, because that's more damage.
Okay, so that's 16 damage total. Okay, so it's still standing, but again, the Hail of Thorns that splintered out and just destroys a bunch of rats. So it's a little less than half the size that it once was as a swarm. And I think that's your turn. That's really good.
Okay.
So the rat leader is going to run over here.
Where?
And then, oh, you can't see it, can you? I'm just gonna make your light bigger. Nope. There you go. There. It is off in this corner here. I will ping it. This is the great
Thank you.
rat leader. Ping. Okay. It runs over there. Next up is Cornelius. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try my fancy firebolt again.
Do it. Do you want to move first? What are you aiming at?
Take a look here. So Puddle attacked the group on the left, correct?
Yes, this group here.
All right, I'm gonna try going for the one on the right, just to see if I can push him back a little bit.
Got it. So that was firebolt, which I think you do. That's a spell attack. Yes. So roll a d20 and add 5.
7.
7 total.
7 total.
That does not hit, unfortunately. They dodge out of the way. I don't see any bonus actions on your sheet. You have a reaction. That's it. Nope, you just have spells. Okay, so that misses. Next up is going to be Hartley.
Wait,
Okay.
can I use Faithful Friend before Hartley goes?
What's that do?
You're able to aid those around you just by your presence. Once per short rest is your reaction. When an ally you can see within 30 feet fails... Oh no, that's a saving throw, I lie.
Well, it says saving throw, ability check, or attack roll. You use your reaction to allow them to attempt the roll again.
Yes. Says I'm swimming around. I somehow am like, hey, try again, buddy, you can do it.
Okay. Cornelius, go ahead and roll again.
Thank you. 10.
Yeah! Bork.
10 total.
10 total.
That hits. That just hits.
Yes!
Woohoo!
Okay, roll me damage on that. So that's going to be a d10 of damage.
Four.
Okay. So your comet lands right. It clips one of the corners of the swarm, and you knock off one or two rats there. And they again smolder on the ground in purple grossness. Next up is next up is the rat swarm on the left is going to run forward and bite Cornelius.
No.
I know, it is very sad. Does a 7 hit? Cornelius? Does a 7 hit your... No, it doesn't. I'm looking at your armor class. It does not. So the rat swarm again like skitters forward and then tries to sort of engulf Cornelius, and it Cornelius rears back and it misses. As that is happening, the rat swarm on the right is going to run forward and try and swarm Cornelius. Does a...
Or Cornelius.
I know, I'm sorry. An 8 does not hit, though. This rat swarm is going to run up and try and bite Puddle. Does an 18 hit Puddle?
By my armor class is 15.
So it does hit. So you take 7 piercing damage.
Boof.
I know. But 1 attack out of
Ow.
3 landing is pretty good.
7 damage?
7 piercing damage, yeah.
Oh. My HP?
Yes. So you can you push
Got
the-
it. I now have 24. Poop.
So next up, let's see here. Next up, so the rat swarms you've been dealing with are about the size of like a medium-sized dog, but regular-sized rats all swarmed together. The rat leader, the white rat across the way, is about the size of a small dog. The rat that suddenly rears up in the middle of this, fetid pond that Puddle is swimming around in, is about the size of it is a very large creature. It definitely rears over even the largest of you. It is a huge gargantuan rat. It's covered in like oozing wounds, and it's missing an eye, and its teeth are crooked, and it snarls and growls at you, and it is coming straight at Puddle. And it's gonna try and
No.
bite Puddle.
Why did I jump in the pot?
I really don't know.
Because of stank?
Does a
'Cause
14
good stank.
hit?
Yeah.
Does a 14 hit?
No.
Nope.
Great. So you dodge just out of the way, and the rat gets a face full of its own gross
Uh-oh.
liquid.
Okay.
Next up is Teddy. Teddy, you've been vibrating in rage. What you gonna do?
Okay, how deep does this
Wait a
pond
minute.
look?
I think for you it'd be like you'd have to like keep your head up and like walk on your toes.
Okay. Oh, did we skip Hartley?
I believe so.
I did skip Hartley. I am so sorry.
He doesn't need a turn. It's okay.
I'm really sorry. Teddy, do you mind if we go back to Hartley really quick?
Yeah.
My apologies. Hartley, what are you doing? I'm so sorry. I'll put you back
Well-
in the initiative order the next round in the right spot. I apologize.
So, is there one space between those two rat swarms to the left of me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll move one over then.
Right there.
And I think I'll attack the injured one.
They're both injured.
I mean the severely
No, I
injured
lied.
one.
You're gonna attack the one
Below me.
below you. This guy. Yeah. Ping. Okay. Go for it.
Yep. Ooh, nat 20.
Yeah. Oh.
So in my campaigns, I use the brutal critical for nat 20s. What that means is we take one max damage die, and so you're long sorting it.
Great sword's 2d6.
So that'd be 2d6. Is right at the beginning is 12, and then you roll 2d6.
Only 5 more. And it's a plus
And then-
3 modifier.
And then plus 3, so altogether it's 20 damage. Did I do my math right?
Only 20. Damn.
Yeah, so fine. So your great sword obliterates this rat swarm. It could not be deader. It is dead. It will never ever be revived. You have destroyed it in its entirety. Well done.
I'm invincible.
Do you have any bonus actions you want?
I don't know that I have a lot of bonus actions. I think I'm good.
Back to Teddy. Teddy, what can we do for you today?
I would like to hop on top of Puddle, if possible, and pull my rapier out at this giant rat thing.
Okay.
I brace myself out so my paws are spread out and my back is straight and flat on top of the water like a turtle.
Perfect. Okay, so that means Puddle is not considered hazardous terrain.
Yeah.
Go ahead
Staple
and,
doggo.
and you're trying to attack the monstrous rat?
I am. It's not you. It's me, Puddle. I still just get a 10.
That doesn't land. I think it just sort of like again, just misses. You guys are kind of rolling around in this, or the rat at
Can
least
we
is
use-
moving around a bunch.
Cantrips out of turn or no?
You can only use cantrips out of turn if it has an R next to the action, so like one R.
An R next to the action?
Yeah, so if
You
you're
can do it
talking
as a
cantrips-
reaction.
Yeah,
Oh.
an R would be a reaction.
Got it.
So realizing that I can't reach this rat from the back, from Puddle's back, I'm going to disengage
'Kay.
and move back away in the group. Yeah.
Perfect. Great. So you're good. Whole action.
Yep.
Okay, this rat is actually gonna back up. This rat's gonna back up. These rats are gonna cluster around their great leader. And they're gonna hang out there. we're back to the top of the round with Puddle.
Woo! Okay.
So you used
All
Hail
right.
of Thorns last turn. If you shoot with an arrow this turn, Hail of Thorns still applies for up to a minute. Each round is 6 seconds, so it's going to last for a while.
It does last for a while. Okay, so...
Good doggos.
Huh?
Good doggos.
Yes. Can I... back up to the right, next to the lamp on the eastern quadrant, and then I'm gonna shoot... Yeah, like the glowy dude, the glowy thing over there on the top right, east.
So like way right.
Yeah, super right. Just back enough. Yeah, that's a little farther up, please. Yep, that's good. And then I'm gonna shoot arrows at the rats. Probably who's deader? The rats next to Cornelius or the rats next to the pond?
The rats next to Cornelius are more injured.
Okay, then I'm gonna shoot at the rats on the edge of the pond in hopes that the thorns will explode and even potentially hit the big rat. Yep.
Okay. Just so you know, that will not happen, but it is a good character thought.
Yeah. I'm going to hit everything.
That sounds good.
Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, bark.
Roll me a d20.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. Woof. Okay. What do I add to it?
An 8.
13.
That hits. Because you're aiming at the swarm of rats. Yeah, that hits. Roll me
Okay.
damage, which is a d8 plus 4, and then
Okay.
Hail of Thorns would be another d10.
D8 plus 4. That didn't roll at all. That just flopped. It's a 6
Okay.
for that. And then the D10 is a 10.
And your 6 was that you rolled a 6 on a d8 plus 4, or you rolled a
Nope.
2 plus 4?
2 plus 4.
Okay, so 16 damage. Lovely. It's still up, but it is not happy about being up.
It is hurt.
It is hurt. Yeah, well done. And again, when your arrow hits it, it's gonna splinter out so that these thorns, as it flies through the air, it's growing these thorns, and as it hits it, the thorns like spike out and spear individual rats into the pond. It's gross. They don't like it. Next up is Great Rat Leader, who's gonna stay where he is. And then after that is Cornelius. What do we do at Cornelius?
Well, we still have that group of rats that's beside me there.
Yep.
So I think I'll move one to the left.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna try my firebolt again.
Sounds good. D20 plus 5.
17 total.
That hits. Roll damage.
Eight.
Yeah, that rat has been destroyed.
Woohoo!
So the comet lands like in the middle of the rat swarm, and then the whole swarm just lights up. Well done. Okay, so we've got one rat swarm left around you guys, and the monsters are out. Okay, Hartley, it's your turn.
Hey. Well, I guess I'm going to. I can still 5-foot move, right? And not provoke.
No, if you stay close to it, you're good. But if you move away from it more than 5 feet, then
I was gonna move in front of Teddy. Is that
yeah,
possible?
you can do that without an attack of opportunity. Yeah, I think. I might be wrong about that. Tech will correct me in a minute. We'll play it this way for now.
All right. Big dog fights big rat.
Okay. Great sword.
Yeah. Sadly, I only got an 11.
How big is the rat compared to him?
About twice his size.
Woof.
You only rolled like it's an 11 total?
Yeah, I rolled a 6.
It doesn't hit.
Does not actually surprise me.
Well, I'm a little sad about it. This rat swarm next to you is gonna try and bite you. Is a 14 hit?
Nope.
It doesn't do a good job of trying to bite you, and it feels shame.
Haha.
As it should.
The monstrous rat in front of you is gonna try and bite you. It also feels a keen amount of shame. Unless a 10 hits.
That would be real surprising.
If a 10 hit,
And a 14 missed?
I think I think his foot slips and he like goes down on one knee almost. Well, Teddy, let's see what you can do.
Yeah, so seeing all of the rats surrounding Hartley, I'm going to just explode with rage, and I'm going to go into frenzied fighting.
Great.
And I'm going to hop on top of Hartley like I tried to do with Puddle, and I'm just going to bite at all the rats all the time. And
Okay.
they both have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh god. Okay, so we'll do the rat swarm first. What's the DC they're trying to save against?
That is a good question. Wow, this is sad. I should have looked at my Constitution first. It's 9?
So the rat swarm fails, so tell me what that means in a minute. And the monstrous rat succeeds. So what happens to the rat swarm?
Okay, so the rat swarm is going to take 13 damage.
Okay.
And the giant rat's going to take half of that. And the rat swarm gets
shit.
pushed 10 feet away.
Oh shit. 10. So we'll resolve you first. So 5. Okay, so that's 10 feet away. The monstrous rat. So half of 13 is 6, but we'll round up to 7. Okay.
And then I will again disengage and move back behind Hartley.
So this little chihuahua explodes up onto Hartley's back. Is a hail of teeth and claws. It tosses the swarm of rats back, and it lands a couple of blows on the monstrous rat, who sort of like sits back like, what the hell is happening here? The 3 rats that are clustered around their great rat leader are gonna stay back here. Except this one's gonna start moving forward.
Oh, they move far.
Hang on. I don't know that I counted that right. Yes, so he's gonna get up here and I didn't realize he could reach you, but he can. He's gonna get up here and try and bite Puddle. It's a 13 hit.
No.
He does a bad job. He trips as he gets up here. He's gonna sit in this square firmly.
I bark menacingly at him.
It hisses and growls back at you, and it the shape tries to like hunch its shoulders to make itself look bigger.
I sit down and shake my head.
Okay. Next up, we're back to the top of the round with Puddle.
Okay. I want to jump around that little pile of rats and jump back into the pond with a big splash.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm going to creep, kind of like a cat, but I'm not very sneaky, but I'm going up. And I'm going to cast Snare on the big rat.
Snare.
Which, as I cast this spell, I use a rope to create a circle with a 5-foot radius on the ground of the floor. When I finish casting, it disappears and it becomes a magic trap. It's nearly invisible, requiring a successful investigation check against my spell. Save DC to be discerned. And then there's more if you want me to keep reading.
I'm reading it. I think you would cast this on a square that the rat wasn't in.
And then in hopes that it would move there?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to cast it in front of it, in between it and Hartley, in hopes that when it tries to attack Hartley, it'll catch it.
Let me put down a color so that I remember it's there.
Mm-hmm.
I want this to be round.
And then I have to do a...
What color do you want it to be? Blue?
Make it, like, super bright turquoise aqua blue.
This is the closest I can get. You want it right there?
I trust your judgment. Nope. Between Hartley and the rat, if I can.
Hartley and the rat. Hartley.
I have a lot of space there.
We're kind of
Right
close.
there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna back it
Beautiful.
up a little bit. Okay.
It's perfect. I'm gonna click it on my thing. I've used now 2 slots.
Oh, great. Yes. Excellent. Okay, so you've cast Snare.
Yep.
Snare
And then it says
what is it?
Dex 13 for an attack save.
So casting time is 1 minute, so you have to hang out there for a minute. So this is going
Okay.
to... This is going to take up 10 rounds of combat.
A lot
if
of
you wanna,
combat.
If you want to cast this. You'll be out
That's
of...
fine. I still have my Arrow of Thorns for another, what, like 6 rounds?
No, you have it for a minute. So if you want to
Okay, so-
cast this, it'll take 10 rounds of combat to cast.
No, I don't want to cast that.
Okay.
That would be silly.
Sorry, I should have looked at that before you started casting.
That's okay. I'll probably...
It was
So-
a, it was a good,
You want
it was
down?
a really good thought, though. Let me look at what else you have here. For that.
I feel compelled to keep using my longbow, because I'm still with the thorny thorns.
Have you thought about doing your...
I've thought about
Your-
Bless.
Yep, Slayer's Prey as well. You haven't used that yet.
Okay, maybe I'll Bless and then
Your-
I'll do Slayer's Prey as my bonus action.
Bless here. Bless is an action. Yeah, you could do that.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
So
What?
Hang on. So Slayer's Prey is you designating a creature that will take bonus action when you do damage to it. So this will...
When I do damage to it?
Yep. So it adds...
Can I use
He's
it on my
pooping.
friends?
No. It's
Oh.
specifically a damage booster.
Yes, that's what I want.
You want to damage your friends?
No. What?
I'm so
I thought it was
So
sorry,
it
I'm
gives
so
them a
sorry.
bonus action?
What are we asking?
Does it cost a bonus action?
Slayer's Play is a bonus action. You designate one creature you see, and the first time each turn you hit that target with a weapon, it takes an additional 1d6 extra damage. So Bless is giving people an additional die to add to their rolls, like your friends.
Yes, that's what I want to do.
Yes, so
wanna
definitely
bless
do
my friends.
Bless. Yeah, okay. Bless sounds good.
Okay, I did it. I clicked it. I don't know what it did to my...
You bless up to 3
D&D
creatures
Beyond.
of your choice within range. So I'm assuming that's all 3 of your friends.
Yes.
Whenever they make an attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to the attack roll. So basically they add another d4 to whatever their attack is. This
Do we need to do that before we roll? Do we need to choose to use Blessed before we roll, or can we wait to see the outcome of our roll?
before this attack roll, I think you can roll it and then just choose to use Bless.
Nice.
This will cancel out your Hail of Thorns for the rest of its minute.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
I'd
so-
rather them be able to attack more than that. So I'm gonna bless them. Do I have to roll anything to do that?
Nope, it just happens. It is your
Sweet.
action though.
That's fine. I'll still do my bonus action after that.
Your bonus action of
Slayer's Prey. So then I'm gonna bless people and then pick an enemy that I'm gonna...
okay. Which enemy?
Probably the big guy.
Big guy. Let's see if I can change his color to reflect anything. Yes, he's now blue.
That's great.
Great. So he will take
Perfect.
an additional 1d6 of damage whenever you attack him.
When I attack him.
Okay.
And then friends, now you get...
What does Bless look like for you? Like, do you sing do you do anything special to indicate to them that you've blessed them, or does it just happen?
I'm gonna give them a nose boop. I'm gonna run up to each of them and give them a little nose boop.
I love that.
Boop. 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 And
Perfect.
I'm still slimy, so I wipe slime on there. Because my boop is a boop.
That's gross.
It's super gross, but
Now
doggos.
they all smell great.
Yeah, now we all smell super.
Definitely wrinkling my nose.
So the rat leader's gonna stay where he is. Cornelius, you're up next.
Can you put me up next to Cornelius, since that would probably be the last doggo I booped?
Mm-hmm.
I'll move forward one. And then I'll take a shot at the rat that's on my left there.
Okay. Go for it.
Oh, balls.
Really nice to see
So
that come out of
that's
capture.
going to be a 3.
So it's not really worth adding bless to that. Was it a nat
Why not?
1?
What was it?
It was a 1.
So that's a nat 1. You were casting Firebolt.
Yep.
I'll say it lands in the water. And it just makes like right here, and it makes a weird gas cloud puff up, and it just smells so gross in here now. Like it's you made it
Sorry,
worse.
guys.
You made it worse, and it's gross, and nobody likes it.
Sorry, y'all.
Next up is Hartley.
Alrighty. Gonna have to redeem myself.
I know those feels.
That is a 22.
You attacking the Motionless Rat?
Yep.
That's super lands.
Including the
Roll me
extra?
damage.
Oh, that's only an 8.
Don't forget the extra roll.
Hang on.
Can I add it to damage?
I don't think you
That's
can
what
add
it is.
damage. No, it adds to.
I think it's attack rolls.
Marble, get down.
It attacks to attack rolls or saving throws, so it doesn't
Oh.
add to the damage. Your
It adds to the chance of hitting. Got it.
right. So that's 8 damage. You said.
8 damage.
Math is so hard, guys. Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. This rat swarm is gonna run up to Cornelius and try and engulf it. That's a nat 20.
Ooh, hits.
Poop canoes.
So that hits
Oh, man.
and deals 14 piercing damage. I'm
And what am I looking at?
sorry. So you're gonna go to your sheet, and in the top right-hand corner, your hit points say 23. So you're gonna
Yep.
click the damage button, type in 14, and hit apply. Sorry, you just type 14 into the button into the area in the middle, and then hit damage,
And then damage?
and then it
Okay.
applies.
Hey, I have guard dog. Any chance I can hand over there and hit them back?
What does guard dog do?
It's like
You are
the
gifted at
guardian.
reacting to attacks from your companions or allies hit by an attack within 5 feet of you. Yeah, we'll call that 5 feet. Yeah, you can make an attack.
Deal.
I'm ruling this because the rat swarm actually like goes into Cornelius's square to do damage.
Kind of goes all over. Yeah.
So it
Uh,
like surges forward and engulfs Cornelius. And while this is happening, I'm imagining you lash out at it.
It's 21.
That hits. Roll damage.
It's a lot better. That's 12.
Okay, you've killed this rat swarm. It also explodes into
Thank
the
you.
sun. So Cornelius, you still take that damage, but the rat swarm will never bother you again.
As it should.
Right? Okay, we're up to... Well, not the Great Rat Swarm. We're up to the Monstrous Rat. It is gonna lunge forward and try and bite at Hartley. Does a 19 hit?
Yes, a 19 does hit.
You're gonna take 18 piercing damage.
Ooh, boy.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah. I am sorry. It is Teddy's turn.
Can I ask where everybody's health is?
Been better.
Yeah.
Same.
I haven't been hit yet.
Okay.
I'm into single digits. How's that?
Poop. Okay.
Same here.
I will try and do the same thing again. I want to jump on top of Hartley and swing at this big rat with my rapier.
Oh no, what did I do? Sorry, hang on. I'm trying to refresh all these tabs so I can see all your health. You're jumping up, you're trying to hit the monstrous rat with your rapier. Do it.
It is a 21.
That hits! Roll damage!
Yeah!
Damage!
So 6 for regular damage, plus another 6 from my sneak attack.
That sounds great.
Then I will disengage and run away.
Man, he's getting... You guys are doing a bunch of damage, this guy. You just backing
As
up
we
5
should.
feet?
Yeah, I'll stay with my pack.
Okay, next up are these guys. This guy's gonna run forward and bite at Teddy. Can he do that? Hang on, I just moved him across the map weirdly. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, he can hit. So he's gonna run forward. Does a 5 hit Teddy?
Luckily, no.
So it, you dodge out of the way. I think as you jump off of Hartley's back, it's like trying to engulf the spot you should be in, but you're not there yet. So it rears back as you land.
Can I suggest something? Can I run on
Sure.
top of the rat swarm?
Yes, that sounds great. So it's trying to engulf you, and you're like tiptoeing across it. That's perfect. That's
Exactly.
awesome. I love it.
That's amazing.
These two rats are gonna start moving forward. It's gonna get two up there. It's gonna get there. This guy's gonna hang out over here. Okay. Back to the top of the round. Puddles, you're up. Puddle, single puddle. Sorry,
I can do plural.
Ipsy's nickname is Puddles, so
That's hilarious. Let's just
Yeah.
make it puddles. I can be plural.
yeah. So Tara's nickname is Buckets. They have a bunch of nicknames. Buckets and Puddles. Puddles of love, buckets of love. It's terrible. Anyway.
Cute.
continue.
Okay, so I want to. No, go back. Stop. D&D Beyond, do the thing.
Do the thing.
It's loading. So I want to use a spell. I want to do protection from evil and good. So whoever is hurt the most, I want to say Hartley, since you're on the front line there. Can I boop you again? And what happens if I
not stop the boops?
Okay, the boops are great. So it's up to 10 minutes, and it's until the spell ends. One willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures: aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. The protection grants several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage. So the rats, I'm guessing, since they're fiends, right? They have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. If the target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed, the target has advantage on any new saving throws against the relevant effect.
I don't think these count as fiends. Fiends are like demons
Poop.
and stuff. These
Are they
just
undead rats?
they're not undead
Poop.
rats. I'm
Okay,
really sorry.
that's
They're
all
just
right. I was
super gross.
trying my best. Okay,
I
so
know.
instead, I am going to use Hail of Thorns And we can also remember I have my Slayer's Prey active on the big guy.
Yes.
So I'm going to Hail of Thorns, shoot an
that son of a
arrow
bitch, yeah.
at that big douche canoe. So I D20 first.
D20 first.
That, is that it's the, okay. I'll need Luth to double check for me, but the one with the big flowers on the bottom is the appropriate number bottom, yeah? For the
Big flowers
Sakura
at the
dice?
bottom. I don't have my Sakura set here. Shoot. Yeah, Luth, I'm gonna need you to chime in on this.
No, the big flowers go on the top. So it's a 6?
Whatever number is up. Oh yeah, if it's a 6. I think
'cause
the
it's a
top of the
16
number
above.
has flowers in both corners.
Which die is it?
The
So it's a
Sakura
Sakura dice.
But
So,
is it
the
D10 or
D20.
D12? D20. Look for
I think
look for like a 7 or something, and then whatever orientation those flowers are, it'd be the same.
Okay, so it's the big row of flowers on top, so it's a 6.
6 to hit the monstrous rat. 6 plus
yes,
8.
but I use the 6 plus 8 plus I use the whatever the extra thing was, which I don't know
That's damage.
if the Slayer's
Hang on. So 6 plus 8 is
a damage.
14.
Yep.
That does hit.
Ah.
So
Okay.
roll me a D8
Okay.
and add 4.
That's total of 12. I got a full 8 on that.
Jesus. Okay. And then roll a D10.
Okay. That was a 5.
And then roll a D6 for your Slayer's Prey.
2.
So you did a total of 19 damage.
I can do something.
I'm literally gonna use a calculator. I don't even care. Internet. I'm using a calculator.
Do it.
Okay, that's a bunch of damn damage. Damn it. So it is still alive, but
Janet.
it is bleeding from more places than it should be. One of its arms doesn't seem to be working super well.
Gross. Love it.
Yeah, that arrow landed like right in its like meaty shoulder area, and the thorns like erupted and like shredded that whole joint, and the Slayer's Prey, I don't know what that would look like. It just like you meet it more and it just does more damage, I guess. It's terrible.
I give it a hurting. So if anyone ever has seen the Collywalk, a Collywalk is like this stalking walk that herding dogs do. I did that up to it when I was shooting it with my longbow, and it made it hurt more because it was scared of me. It was caught off guard.
Yeah, nope, that tracks. I like it. The Great Rat Leader is gonna stay back here. Cornelius, you're up next.
Alright, I am gonna take a shot at him with my firebolt again.
Do it. You're shooting at the Great Rat Leader or sorry, who are you shooting at?
Oh, yeah, I'll take a shot at the leader.
The white rat?
The white rat or the big rat?
Sorry, the white rat.
Okay. Lay that on me.
11 and 2, 13.
That hits. Roll me damage.
That's the D10.
Yes.
4.
Okay, so that comet of purple fire, that ball shrieks through, and like just like perfect timing, shrieks through this mass of bodies in between you and the white rat, and it lands right in his chest. And he screeches pathetically, get them, my children!"
Yeah.
I agree. Okay, next up is Hartley.
Great. It's you and me, giant vermin.
Yeah, it is bleeding terribly. It was you and me, John Berman? No, giant vermin. I would
I'll
take a
accept
giant
giant
bourbon.
bourbon
Yeah,
as
I would
well.
take that, yeah.
14.
14 hits. Roll me damage.
Sweet.
And then, oh yeah. I keep thinking that the bless is of damage, not of hit.
I know. It's still really good. Like, if anybody... I'm keeping bless in mind. If anybody gets to a point where they're... oh, well,
13.
No, I think we're about 13 damage.
Feel the bite of justice.
It doesn't like it. It's now limping. It's moving very sluggishly. It is gonna try and lunge at you. Son of a... It does a bad job because a 5 doesn't hit. Or rather an 11. That
No.
still doesn't hit.
A 5 does not hit.
Yep. Next up is Teddy.
I will swing my rapier. I've still got it in my mouth. Over the rats that I was dancing on, they clear back, and I will swing it at them right in front of me.
Perfect.
That is another 21.
Is that a natural 20?
That was definitely thunder.
No, it's a 16.
Okay. Yeah, that hits. Roll me damage.
All right, that is an 8 on my regular damage.
Okay. This is your
Does
first.
Hartley count with being within 5 feet if he's diagonal?
He doesn't look diagonal to me. He's right across from me, isn't he?
Yeah, I
He's
just
a
made the
good-
rats. Not sure if I can do my sneak attack or not.
Oh. No, I think he has to be beside them or across from them.
Makes sense. Okay, so just an 8, and I will disengage and I'll step back behind Cornelius.
Okay. Math is hard. Okay. Cool. Next up is
Just the rain.
I think my flavor text, Cornelius, maybe I might be like under your legs.
Oh, it does count diagonal. Go ahead and give me that damage too.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Yes.
That
sneak
is
attack.
another 7.
I love the text rolling in where it's like, no, it's sneak attack. 7. Perfect. Okay, you've done. This is less than half the size it started with, so it's taken quite a bit of damage. And your rapier, I like like a little bit of a silliness there, where as you're slashing through it, like there's these rats like going in every direction as it gets smaller. Okay, this rat pack is gonna run up to Cornelius and try and bite at Cornelius. Does a 14 hit Cornelius?
Yes.
No.
You take 3 piercing damage.
I'd like to take my reaction.
Yes, I figured you would. Yep, go ahead.
That's a 13.
That hits.
Sorry,
Anybody else got a
taking one.
giant rainstorm overhead right now?
No.
It's going by us.
Where are you? I thought you
Sunnyvale.
lived near me. Yeah.
Um,
It is very
Yeah, I don't know. There's like
sunshiny
a
here.
giant. There was a huge roll of thunder and then a
Yes.
giant cloud burst.
Giant frog burst, yeah.
Up here in Seattle, it's cloudy and mild. What's new?
Yeah, that's Seattle, right?
Sounds like
It's
the
only a 7.
PNW.
That actually still kills the crap out of it. So I'm imagining that the rat swarm rushes forward to get at Cornelius. Before it can quite get there, you sort of scrape the rats off Cornelius with your sword. So it only does a little bit of damage and it just like explodes the rat pack back. This rat swarm is going to come after you, Hartley. Does a 16 hit?
16 does not hit.
And then this rat pack is gonna try and hit you as well. It doesn't hit either. I think they're timid. I think they're like, I'm gonna get you, and then it's like, no, just kidding. Next, we're back to the top of the round. Puddle.
Well, hey. Okay. What do I want to do?
Did I miss anybody again? Sorry. I think I got everybody. Yeah. What do you want to do, Puddle?
Hartley, you went?
Yeah, Hartley went. I think I was
Okay.
I was double checking because he did the reaction as well. But no, I remember him doing a bunch of damage. Yeah.
Okay. I want to attack with my longbow again.
That's fair. So you've still got Hail of Thorns, you've still got Slayer Spray. On your longbow is ridiculous. What are you shooting at?
I'm really mad that my Hail of Thorns doesn't hit more than target.
Let me look at that again. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that.
I believe you. I'm just sad in life.
Still got Slayer Spray going, right?
And each creature within 5 feet of it.
You're right.
Huzzah! So then theoretically, is the group of rats directly east of Hartley within 5 feet of the big bad?
Yep. Technically, yeah.
Okay. So since I have that fancy whatever's on the big bad, I'm gonna shoot at him. I'm gonna scooch you to the right, so I am well out of range of accidentally hitting Hartley. He's
Okay.
also with range. So I'm gonna scooch actually probably like 10 more feet to the right and northeast. Yeah. And then back up a little. Like all the way back. Yeah, that's great. And then I'm gonna shoot my arrow.
Okay, do it.
So that is 12 plus 8, right?
Yep.
Is
So
it
that's
20?
a dirty 20. That hits. Roll damage.
Perf.
So 1d8
Damage
plus
is
4.
D8. That's a total of 7.
Plus 4. You said total 7. Okay, now roll me a d10.
Okay. And am I still having extra damage from the thing?
You are. I'm just doing it in order of things
Okay.
you cast.
So I got 4 out of 10.
So that 4 gets dealt to these guys. It also, I need Hartley to roll a dexterity check as well.
Oh
And
no!
then roll me a d6.
No.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Roll the 19.
Roll me a d6 as well to add to the
Me?
yes, you. Because the Slayers.
4.
So you do a total of 11 damage. So,
Did you do the rat saving roll?
I did. It failed, so it took. So I was So the way I'm imagining this is, as the arrow leaves the longbow, it's sprouting those thorns, and this is a big one. And as it starts, it's like landing. It's like a bristling with all these thorns, and it explodes out, and it gets the monstrous rat right in the face. But as it starts exploding out, it gets into the swarm of rats too, and pins a couple of those guys to the ground. But it just misses Hartley by like inches. And you see these thorns that are huge. They're like 3 or 4 inches long, just embedding all the way into this rat's skull, and it keels over backwards, dead.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's super dead. You
I have my
you deaded it.
I have my next arrow in my mouth, but I stop and
Yeah, that's about as dead as a rat can get. Excellent. Let me cross him off here. Yeah, that was a really good turn. I liked that. Okay, next up
Thank you.
is the Great Rat Leader, who's gonna look panicky.
Wait, can I do Slayer's Prey one more time, or is that a no? I already used a bonus action. I did. I used Hail of Thorn is still in effect. Does that count or no?
I don't think it counts as a bonus action because it's concentration. And
Okay, so I'm gonna use
I think,
Slayer's
but
Prey.
You used Slayer's Prey, but I think that lasts for up to a minute too. So I don't know.
Lasts
how much...
until you finish your short or long rest, or if you designate a creature.
If he does a what?
Designate a different creature.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and designate.
I want to designate the white rat.
Sure, you have done so.
Huzzah!
I will turn
Thank you.
him a
Sorry.
color. No, you're good. Is that a color? There, he's a color.
That's like
He's
green.
gonna run up
Mhm.
and try and punch you. Actually, what does he do? He's gonna try and slam you with his fists. He doesn't.
Because
Probably.
they're tiny rat fists. You realize
Does an 11 hit?
this isn't gonna work.
This is like a T-Rex punch.
Does an 11 hit?
No.
He's swinging his tiny fists in rage at you. It will actually do a bunch of damage if it lands, just for the record. I just want to
I
clear about my
playfully
great rat.
dance in a taunt at him sideways.
He is like shaking his fists in rage at you. Cornelius, you're up.
Okay. Sure. Let's take a firebolt at the white.
All right,
12 and 2, 14.
that hits. Roll me a 1d10 damage.
2.
Better than 0.
That's true.
Aroo!
It glances off his shoulder and he's got like a small purple fire on his shoulder and he's like, next up is Hartley. Your prey has been removed from your sight. You are
All right.
surrounded
Which of
by
these two are more injured?
the one on your right.
Okay. I will attempt to swing at that one.
Do it.
That is a dirty 20.
That hits.
That is a 9.
Okay. So that guy's super dead. What does this look like for you?
I mean, I've probably been doing a lot of dancing around and spinning, so I probably just kept doing it and swung into this one.
Like a doggy tornado? That's amazing.
Doggy tornado. Yes, it is a doggy tornado. That sounds.
Doggy tornado holding a really large sword.
Oh, woo.
That is perfect.
Now
Okay.
I'm just picturing like Taz.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Like
Ted-
a galumping Taz.
Yeah, like a hurdum Taz. Teddy, you're up.
I would like to run up to the white rat and smack him with my rapier.
Okay, do it.
I don't very much so. I got a 7.
That does not
Shaking
hit.
too much.
I slip in some of the goop and
Yeah, these steps, man, they're treacherous. Do you want to disengage?
yeah, I will at least disengage. I'm pretty sure I used up all my movement, but I will disengage.
I think you have at least enough to disengage. All right, next up is this guy. He's actually gonna try and bite Hartley again. It's a 15 hit.
Nope.
Nope. How much fucking
17.
Jesus? Okay. We're back up to the top of the round. Puddle.
So now that I've labeled Big White Guy, I'm gonna do a butt scoot and keep him in my view.
Mhm.
So I'm just backing up using the slippery stairs and scooping with my butt back. And then I'm going to shoot my arrow at him
Butt wiggle.
since I still butt wiggle.
Butts.
like in a play stance because I think this is fun at this point.
Yes.
Because we're just kicking their booties.
You really are. You guys are really kicking their booties.
I still have that spell, right? I still have Hail of Thorns.
I think you do. I really. Tech
I think we're
hasn't
getting
corrected
towards
me
the
at
end
this
of it,
point,
but-
so no, we're only
a few rounds in.
we're only 6 rounds in.
So I still have 4 more rounds of Thorn.
I think so, yeah.
Perfect. So, I shoot at him.
Sure.
Let go. That is a 13 plus
That
8,
hits.
so 21.
Yeah, that super hits. Yeah.
Super duper.
So D8 plus 4.
D8 plus 4 is... Uh-oh, that went out of my rolling tray. 8! So it'll be 12.
Then add a D10.
Goldie
So
gets
it's a total of 16 so far.
And then add a D6.
19 total.
Jesus.
I'm not messing around.
You really aren't. As this explodes into his chest, he's like, don't kill me. He's still alive, but he's like whining pathetically at you. And he tries to back away. He gets to about here, but he just can't quite make it. Cornelius, you're up. Hey, real quick, Cornelius, I was looking at your sheet, and you've got a couple other spells, like Flaming Sphere, which might be fun, or Magic Missile, which is a wizard's
do I
bread
look?
and butter. So if you go into the big box, there's actions, which I hate looking at this one because it doesn't, especially if I have a wizard or a warlock, because it doesn't show me all my spells. Click on the thing next to it that says
Oh.
spells.
Oh my gosh.
I know,
okay.
I'm sorry, I should have mentioned it earlier, I apologize.
That's okay.
But you've got some stuff in here that might be good.
Sure, why not? Let's try Magic Missile since I haven't used that yet.
Would you like to cast it at first level or second level? Second level gives you 1 more dart.
Let's do second level and
Great.
hopefully I kick some ass.
So these magic missiles neat because it just fucking happens. You don't have to roll anything. And so 4, because this is second level, you create 4 glowing darts of magical force. They each hit a creature of your choice that you can see within range, and they deal 1d4 plus 1 force damage to its target. So you can have all 4 hit whatever you want, or you can split them between the 2 targets you have left. Whatever you want. I just need you to roll a d4.
Roll a d4. Okay, how do I read a d4? Is it whatever's at the top?
Depends on the d4, but it's usually whatever's at the top.
The pyramid shape?
No, yes. Sometimes they put the numbers in weird spots, but if it's normal one, then it's at the number that's at the top.
Okay. We'll send 2 and 2 then. We'll send 2 at the white rat master and then the dude that's right beside him. 2
Okay.
for that.
Yep.
So 2.
So each dart does 2 force damage,
Yeah.
and I assume they're purple.
Yeah.
I love Cornelius. Everybody has made him purple so far, and it makes me insanely happy. So the glowing darts, I imagine them as like smaller versions of your comet, and like more intense. Like they burn a trail on the eyes as they sink into this rat leader's chest. He's gasping now, like he can barely breathe, and he's begging you to not kill him.
No fireworks.
You knock off a couple of rats from the swarm, and it is looking really nervous. Hartley, what are you gonna do with this?
I'm gonna keep spinning.
Spin away.
Woo!
That is an 18.
That hits. Roll me damage.
That is 13.
Damn. Okay, so they're still up, but they They do not take this opportunity. They're still up. They're about half the size they were before. The mound of rats. Teddy, what are you gonna do?
I want to
Butt
run up
kicking.
to the
For goodness.
white rat,
Mhm.
and I want to say, "Give me the whistle! Give it to me!"
And he's gonna hold it in his fist, and he's gonna say, "No, just don't kill me. It's mine.
Well, if you give it to us, we won't kill you.
No, it's fine." And he's like holding it up to his face, and he's like, "No, it's my.
What do you value more, the whistle or your life?"
It's mine. It's mine." He does not seem like he can really process information. Like he's like having trouble breathing, and he's like hugging the whistle. It's almost like he can't hear you.
Can I would like to backside him with my rapier, like not lethal, just kind of whack him with it.
Sure. Roll to see if, I don't know. It's not, I think you still need to roll, I guess.
I got a 22.
Yeah, then you super hit. We'll knock him down to, he's so close to dead.
It's a 7 damage.
Yeah, so we'll say, but non-lethal, we'll say. So he's knocked unconscious. As soon as that happened, these guys are like, fuck it, I'm out. They try to run away. That gives Hartley an attack of opportunity. I'll let you do that.
Oh, I'm in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Using my D4.
Okay. How far is
That's
reach?
13.
So that hits. Roll me damage. Jesus. So as these guys try to be like they see their master go down, their leader go down, and as they see this, they try to nope the fuck out. And as they're running away, your swirly of death just like baseballs them out into the like a spattering of rats all in a gross arc. So they're super
Butt
dead.
kicking. For goodness.
You are out of initiative. You guys destroyed all those fucking rats.
I'm taking the whistle immediately, grabbing it with my mouth, and parading it about.
I'm lying down, like, immediately.
So I just have a question really quickly, Hartley. Were you basically just like spinning like a tornado with a sword for like the last like 6 turns? Because that really amuses me.
Pretty close, yeah. Like a very excited dog, just kind of like
chasing
oh my God,
its
oh my
tail,
God.
but has a sword in its mouth, like, right? That's what we're
You're,
talking
like,
about
hopping
here.
between front legs and back legs and spinning at the same time.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so good. I absolutely love it. Okay, so, so you have the golden whistle, Teddy. You said you have that.
Yes, I grabbed it, and I'm kind of like prancing.
So with the rat fiend unconscious at your feet, the whistle is yours once again. The guardian hound appears to you again and nods approvingly. He's kind of a dick. So you're holding the whistle. What do you do?
Oh man, this could be a very bad idea. I will blow the whistle.
Okay, so as you blow the whistle, there's this dog of mist standing next to you, but filling the rest of the room is a gigantic spectral, like, dark cloud of a dog, and it tips its head back and it unleashes a deafening roar in this closed, like, round room, and the roar echoes on the walls and seems to grow louder and louder, but instead of the sound, like, crushing you with its pressure, it seems to be lifting your spirits higher and higher as it echoes. You guys receive the effects of Beacon of Hope and Bless for 1 hour. In addition, the Bark acts like a level 3 cleric using Channeled Divinity, turn undead. So every time the whistle gets blown, Teddy is holding it, these are the effects that happen. With the blessing of the lost Bark and the guardian hound upon you, and the rat conclave definitively defeated. Come here, Tara. Your minds turn to the future. Come here, Tara. Come here. Give me kisses. Yeah, here we go. Here's my puppy. Your minds turn to the future. Gathering the various treasures secreted around the room, you discover enough coin for new equipment, hot food, a warm fire, and a comfy place to curl up for the night. Tonight is a night for belly rubs and biscuits. Tomorrow, you can set out to greet whatever fresh challenges await you. Congratulations, my adventurers. You have discovered the secrets of the Lost Bark.
Bork, bork.
Well done. You did it. You win.
Yeah.
You won D&D.
Woohoo!
I took
Uh,
one hit, and it was rough.
Yeah, you did take a really big
Hard
hit.
same. Actually,
Yeah.
I took 2.
Yeah, you guys got real low. It looks like. I think Teddy's
I
the
had
only one that
6
didn't
left.
take any damage. Yeah, you guys are.
No, I never got hit.
Yeah, you guys are having a rough time. But so that's the adventure I have for you today. Yeah, well done. Do you have any questions or?
Thank you.
Yeah.
What did the white rat want? Want to know his motives.
He wanted the whistle for himself.
He wants the shiny.
Yeah, it's shiny and it's good. Like it's good loot, if you will. I should create a backstory for him, I suppose. I don't have one currently, but I should create one. That would be a good idea, I
Huzzah.
think. Yeah. God, now that's all I'm thinking about. What is his motives? What is the Great Rat Leader's motives?
Well, maybe he's just like, Smeagol Golem.
Yeah, in
right?
my mind,
He's
he's
like,
just,
my precious.
it's fucking shiny and he likes it, but at the same time, what if there was more to this story? Yeah, so, that's my one-shot. This is, yeah. As I said, you guys can keep these characters, I'm pretty sure, by leaving the campaign with them, and you're more than welcome to use them wherever you like. They are real Dungeons & Dragons characters you can use. If you can find a game master willing to let you do them. I fortunately have a game master that does let me play my awakened animal, and I love it. They're very nice to me. I'm a cleric. It's hilarious. But I hope I was able to distract you for a couple of hours today from the world burning around us. And one of the things I like to do with my players at the end of my regular campaigns is ask for good role-playing moments, and then we all vote on what was the best, and it ends up giving them an inspiration for the next game. Since this is just a one-shot, that's not really going to be the goal here, but I would love it if you guys wouldn't mind sharing some of your favorite moments from today's game.
Teddy and Hartley fighting over the bones.
That was super good. I forgot about that for a second. Yeah, that was really good. Like right at the beginning too. That was really good. Yeah, what else?
I liked all the creative back riding that happened.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't even think of that happening, but I guess that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Right? Like that's exactly what that character would do.
Oh yeah, not Hartley. Teddy's gonna be as tall as possible.
Yeah. Well, and he's a rogue, so he wants to find elevation to leap down on from, right? Maybe? I don't know. What else? Any other good moments?
All the howling.
You guys are, like, okay, so you're only my second group, but you're the first group that, well, technically I've run these games a couple of times, but, like, you're the first group that's done that, and I don't know why it hasn't occurred to me before now, but it was so good. I really liked it. I am, as they say, here for it. Any other good moments?
Perfectly appropriate.
Yeah, it was perfect. Any other good moments? I think this was a really fun game. The last thing I'll ask is if you have any feedback for me to make it better. Were there pieces that were just a little too hard or like annoying to set up, or you just rather not, or was this like any other?
I mean, for me, coming in as somebody who has no idea what they're doing, I thought it was great.
Excellent. Yeah, that was something I was going to ask you off stream, was if this was a good first experience for you.
It was great. I had a great time.
Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, I try and build things so that they can be accessible to newer players. And I'm sorry I didn't orient you on your sheet a little better, but I think you did
That's
a great
okay.
job.
It's a learning process. Hey, what class is the Husky, just for future reference?
Oh yeah, the
Husky?
Husky is. Let me pull up that.
I think it technically qualifies
Paladin.
as regular.
I think he's a paladin.
Who says paladin
Oh,
on the
right.
chat?
Because I would totally have done that, but changed him into a Kleekai, so he looks the same, but he's only 15 pounds.
Kleekai.
Yeah, he's a paladin.
I
But
have
yeah.
a Kleekai.
But you can do that, right? Like you can, if you find a game where you can get a,
Oh my god, a paladin lapdog. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
exactly.
that would
That's
be
why I'm,
amazing.
like, highly amused.
That would be absolutely amazing. Like I would.
And you know, it fits with Marble's personality too,
Yep.
because he doesn't realize that he's only 15 pounds.
Yep. That's one of the things I like about the French Bulldog being the fighter usually, is that it's a fucking French Bulldog. Right, like the dog's this big, and having it be the fighter is just hysterical to me. Yeah, I love
They
doing
got some
stuff
weight
like that.
though.
They do. They're bulky little dudes, but yeah, it's good.
That's like Marble's just like he's lanky, like he's really light bone. And then you have Goldie, who is my pug cross, and she's like a pug staffy cross, and she's the one who's got all the bulk and all the weight.
Yeah,
So she's built more like a French bulldog.
yeah.
There's some heft.
They're hefty little critters, yeah. But that's the fun of the dog. It's like it just adds a little bit of ridiculousness to it, so no one takes it too seriously. But it has the potential to be taken seriously, right? Like the cleric that I run is an amalgamation of my service dog and a friend of mine's service dog, so it's a gray poodle shaped kind of dog. It's a bit sassy and a bit doofy because it's a combination of my service dog and somebody else's, and I take that character very seriously, and if and when it dies, I will be upset.
That's what a resurrection spell is for.
Her name is Speck, and I love her.
I mean,
I also
you
have.
choose to play that one in Curse of Strahd, so it's quite likely.
I know it might die. I also have another character built out as a warlock called Space, and she is actually the mama dog to any dog I play because she had one baby puppy of every class because I said so. And yeah, I really love playing the dogs. And then Cats and Catacombs came out recently by the same people, and you can play as a cat, and like I have to build my baby midnight snacks immediately, and it makes me upset. So Tech Soup, the gentleman who's on the stream that I told you very nicely built out our pre-gen characters, so he likes to build characters for fun, and he has offered, if anyone has any specific breed requests, he's happy to actually build out that sheet for your class if you would like.
I think a Kleekai paladin would be entertaining.
Okay, Tech, you have your first request for a Kleekai paladin. And you guys can chat about it here on High Roll if you'd like, or I can connect you later, or you can just chat through me if you want.
Damn entertaining.
I know, it's
Also,
so good.
you could also do a Kleekai barbarian just because it would be absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I loved that Teddy had all the rage, and it just like I knew the Chihuahua was a rogue, but I just had this thought of like a barbarian Chihuahua.
Oh
I
my
like-
god. That would be so great.
I just like the minute you were like he has all the rage, I was like, whoop! I had an idea, and I need it. Yeah, they're just a lot of fun. So you've done it once. I'm happy to walk you through anything you need. I'm thinking about kidnapping a human that wants to learn how to run one of these for one of my streams. If anybody wants to start GMing, please go forth. These resources are free. You can find the PDFs and the adventures online for free. Go forth, run these games, distract yourself from the world outside, and I really enjoy you guys playing with me today. Thank you.
Thank you for the distraction.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
You're
for
very
running.
welcome. Anytime. All right, well, I will let you guys go back to your own lives, and we're ending almost exactly on time, so yay for time
Woohoo.
estimates.
Woo,
Do you have any
double win.
questions before we go? Does the stream have any questions before we go? Now that I've asked that question, we have to hang out for at least a minute because that's how long it takes to get out to the world. Any questions?
1,000.
Two
1,000.
I will say, I thought there was going to be something with a clock because it was like the butcher and it was a blacksmith, but it was like butcher, blacksmith. I thought it was going to be like butcher, baker, candlestick maker, and I was like, these rats are going to go into a giant clock.
That would be clever
I
too.
didn't think of that. So that's the only part of the adventure that's a little confusing. Like each pieces, like you do this and this happens, and you get these checks and this happens, and you get these checks and this happens, and that the second encounter, like getting to like it gives me the information like you're going to the town square, and then it asks for checks that say you go to the town square, but then it asks for checks that say you go to the town square and you find the button, and then it asks for a check to find the button, and I was like, what? So I need to read through that and modify it a little bit so it makes a little more sense to me. But yeah, you can see I fumbled through it twice and it seemed fine enough. But I think that's another thing about modules is you can do that, right? Like you can brief, or if you want to run this, you can take this and modify it in a way where it can be about the rats going up into a clock tower, you know? I tend to not mod it so that I can use the maps that are pre-made, but you could easily make your own maps, or just theater minded as well, just describe it. So it's good inspiration, I think. Okay.
Yeah, I liked it. It's a good module.
I think it's been more than a minute, so I'm guessing the chat doesn't have any questions. So I'll end this stream. You have all been fantastic. I hope to play with you soon. You've all been a lot of fun. So I'll kill the stream and stream. Have a good night. Bye.